Yo, what is up? All right, let me get this out of here. So yeah, that's the intro, man.
What's going on?
What
I
is
like the
up, dude?
intro.
What is up, everybody? Yeah, that I'm
Hello,
so
all.
glad to finally be able to do that. But
That's
dude,
cool,
like
man.
we were just chatting backstage, man. This is really cool for you to do this. Thank you for taking your time to hang out and talk Venom collecting, or just collecting in general, just nerding out.
Brother, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for befriending me and being so polite. I want to say this before we get too far into this. When I came onto Instagram, a year and a half, 2 years ago, whatever it was, yours was one of the first accounts that I was introduced to. And it had just an
Right
amazing
on.
community built around your passion for symbiotes, all things symbiotes, Venom, the rarities in collecting and all of that. So my hat's off to you, my friend. I'm super happy that through that course of a year and a half or 2 years, we've had the pleasure of having conversation. We've gotten to trade notes on things, and now, this is us meeting in person, essentially, our first time being live together, and I'm honored and I thank you, my friend. It's really cool.
That's what's up, man. I really appreciate that, and that's really cool to hear. I didn't intend for the Instagram thing to even be like a serious thing. It was kind of like a hidden little checklist, if you will, of my
Yeah,
personal collection, and it just kind
yeah.
of turned into something. I didn't realize there was a comic book community, and I'm really glad I found it, man. Being able to meet people like you and just, I've learned stuff from you. There's been quite a few things that I've seen you post where I'm like, ooh, in particular, you were very knowledgeable on the Mark Jewelers inserts. And in all of my collecting, if I've ever had one, I had no idea because I never even like looked through certain books. But that's just learning about that's really fascinating because I don't know too much. What is up, Adam? And what is up, Val? Thanks for hanging out, guys.
Val, what up, my man? That's awesome. And who this is through Ada. Ada, what's going on?
Yeah, that's my boy Adam. So,
Oh, Adam, nice to meet
guys,
you.
Adam, you see this right here? I'm gonna need you to go ahead and search that and find it and give it a follow.
Oh, please,
So,
please, and I will follow you back promptly. Thank you.
so right away, man. First off, you still got that giveaway going? Let's go ahead and talk about that for a second. Let's put
That
that up
that
there.
giveaway is it's concluded. The three winners have been picked, but yeah, man, let's talk about it just
Oh,
for a second. I that was the first time I had ever done a giveaway. It's not the first time I had given stuff away. I love giving stuff away. Generally, like if somebody, well, I just like giving stuff away. It feels really good. You know the feeling. It's just a really nice thing to
absolutely.
exchange that energy. And but I had never formally done a giveaway. And one evening, I knew I wanted to do the giveaway. But I was like, how do I make it better than just telling somebody leave a bunch of comments and share this, and then I'm going to spin some wheel with a bunch of names, and then it's done. Like how can I
Uh-huh.
make this more engaging? How can I make it more interesting? How can I make it more meaningful than just saying, 3,000 followers giveaway? Like, no disrespect to all of that. I know I sound like, I'm being a little condescending and stuff, but that was just something that we've seen a lot of. And I just one evening said to myself, because I'm big on thank yous and pleases. Like, I'm just huge on courtesy, being courteous, manners, thank yous and pleases. Like, I understand not everybody has this similar way of socially engaging with everyone. But I think thank you and please is universally something that is beneficial to add to one's vocabulary, you know? And
Yes, I
right,
absolutely agree on that. And it's also, I totally agree, man. It is nice to be able to like give something away. It is a good feeling. I've
it's
done
a
quite a
it's a
few giveaways,
I love it,
and
man. It's a really great feeling.
I really do enjoy doing it. And one thing I've also learned, uh, there's a such thing as comic karma. I don't know
Yeah,
if you've ever heard anybody say anything about
I have heard
comic
about it, and
karma.
I do believe it's real.
It absolutely is. And during the process of this account growing and whatnot, I did a few giveaways, and I just found myself running into like finding certain books for certain deals, and I'm like, what is it? This is like a literal blessing. How is this happening? And it's just the more I think about it, it's the comic karma. It's definitely a
I
thing.
I love it. I love it. I think the positive energy definitely manifests itself in ways that we would appreciate, and that's what that is. And I definitely think it's real. And I mean, just an instant time with that giveaway, right? I said as a criteria to enter, just thank somebody. Doesn't have to be comic book related. Thank anybody in your life that's done something nice for you. And you just want to, spread some good energy. Man, that post lit up beyond my
It was
wildest
beautiful.
imagination. It was so beautiful. It's got 1,300 comments on it. It had 875 official entries on it. It's got 900 likes on it. It was shared 350 times. 350 different people sent it to different people or had it floating on their story for 24 hours. I couldn't believe it. And to me, that just legitimizes the power of kindness. Like egos, this and that, and macho and this, and I'm the man, and everyone look up to me because of all this nonsense. Well, that doesn't hold any water in the reality of social structure, right? Like kindness and a human connection is definitely going to take you further and last longer. And I think that giveaway was a great reflection of that because the prizes weren't hugely valuable, although the main prize was sold out and it was sought after. It is part of the reason why the giveaway did so well, but it wasn't hugely valuable. Anybody could have went and bought it for $70 on eBay, but they chose to engage heavily on that giveaway. And I think that's absolutely priceless.
Dude, I got to give it to you. That was very inspiring to see that this so many people were on there just like spreading the positive energy. And I'm a true believer in that, man. Like the more positive energy gets out in the world, the better things would be. And
Dude.
that was really, really cool to see. It was just inspiring. I feel like I was even in there, letting my feelings out with my homies. Like, man, I love you guys. Like that was awesome.
I was serious, man. I said, bring on the cheese, put all of that, big man stuff away and just tell somebody you
Let's get
care about
sappy.
them. And, and
Yeah, it's
tying this
beautiful.
into, this was like a year ago. There was something that I'm not sure exactly what it was. We didn't bash on anyone. We didn't talk bad about anyone, but you and I had a conversation in the DM where we talked about respect, just very briefly. We talked about how respect is more important than anything else. And I'll tell you, like I say this all the time, I do not care how big your collection is, how big your books are. If you suck as a human being, I do not care what you have.
Facts.
Respect. It's the most important thing. The rest of this is icing on the cake. But if you as a human aren't right, well, I don't really care what else is going on with you. Respect is the most important thing. You don't have to like someone to respect them. Respect is different.
Dude, that is some ice cold facts. And that's how I treat it. I get a lot of like strange comments sometimes, and I just gotta regularly remind people like, hey, it's not like that around here.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
just going back to
Symbiote
just
Rain, what up? Sorry.
yeah, yeah, you're good, you're good. Going back to like your Instagram and everything, I
Yeah,
love the positive energy, the whole vibe, the whole spiel, man. I love your style of collecting, and I know you're a
thanks,
huge
man.
McFarlane fan, and
Whew, huge for sure.
appreciate that. So
Eh,
let's just jump into it. I'm gonna nerd about this for a second, and then I
Let's,
guess I got some like questions.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I love this book, but go ahead,
this
hit me. Let's nerd. Let's do
this
it.
dude, this got me wet. To have a 9.8 newsstand, that is not an easy task. I'm not familiar with the census and how much is what, blah 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 blah, but I
Yeah,
would
yeah,
imagine
yeah.
there's not too many of these.
So you are absolutely right. It is not an easy task. Now, this one in this picture was the first 9.8 that I ever acquired. This one I did not grade, I
Mm,
purchased. And since then, I had sold it. I think during the time that I posted this, the day before I was going to post it, somebody inquired about it. I don't remember how they found out, but they found out I had it. A good friend of mine, uh, off the truck comics on Instagram, off the truck comics. And he had mentioned that he wanted it. And I said, well, I already got a post ready. So I'll give you a $50 discount, but at least let me like post the book first. And he said, have your fun with it. So I posted it. But in the meantime, I think that was the story. It might be a couple bucks off or a few details shy, but it doesn't matter. But I had already been collecting high grade raws because the thing about this book is we all recognize it's a sick, sick, sick cover, but no one talks about it as
hmm
of anything of significance. Maybe it doesn't have a first appearance. Maybe it's not, a definable key, but I really don't. I think covers make keys. Like me personally, a sick, underappreciated cover is a key. That's key to me because that's how I reacted to what I responded to and loved when I was younger. That's how I collect it. Like a lot of times, I don't care what's in the book. If the cover really spoke to me, I was a fan before I ever opened it up. And so
hmm
This particular book, this artwork ties into my childhood in a lot of different ways. There was a poster that I used to have, which is this Venom in the sewer hanging upside down with the skull on fires and the chain. And that was amazing to begin with. So when I got back into collecting just, recently here, and the newsstand thing took over for me, I decided this is one of the books that I want to hunt. So every time a raw would pop up, it would only pop up for $8, $9. And most of the times it was being sold by collectors that didn't know the difference between a newsstand or a direct, and nor did they care. And this book is notorious for having very similar spine ticks on every copy. So you have to play this game of buying 50 of them, for $5 or
Yep.
$10 a piece, and then sorting through them. So since that, I have graded 4 9.8s of this book. I've sold 3 of them, but I still have 1 in my personal collection. Or maybe I kept 2, I'm not sure. But out of the copies that I had collected, I successfully graded 4 9.8s. And so I was very happy with that. And they will come and go for my collection, but this is a forever book for me. I always want one in my collection. I'm always going to buy the high grade raws. I think it's super underappreciated. And I remember when you picked up a copy, you picked up a direct, and I'm sure you paid like 80, maybe 100, maybe 110. It is not,
Yes,
it's
sir.
not an expensive book. Everybody that appreciates this cover should just go out and buy it. $80 for a slab 9.8. You really can't go wrong, or just spend $10 and get a high grade raw and enjoy it. The card, the card is obviously something I always wanted as well from the 94 Flair set. And we'll talk about cards. It's one of my favorite cards.
Let's
And
do
that
it.
actual card, I did not sell. It is still with me. And what's funny about it is that it's slabbed upside down. Well, you can see it in the picture that you have up there. The card
That's
is
cool though.
slabbed upside down, but I absolutely love it. So I appreciate you picking this book out, my friend. It's underappreciated. Not too many people talk about it, but just look at that cover. There is no denying this cover. That thing is incredible.
So I'm gonna shout out a few people quick, and then I
Yeah,
will
yeah.
nerd out to that. Top shelf
Let's do
collector,
it.
what is up? Zygona, what is up?
What's
Zygona,
cracking?
this is Katie. She's usually on here. She actually wanted to help me out with most of this like layout stuff. She is
Oh, nice. Katie,
tremendously
hello.
awesome.
You said Katie, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
100%. It's
Eddie's.
not always about keys.
It's not, man. Symbiote Rain and I, we get along on a bunch of stuff. He said, I agree 100%. It's not always about keys. Sometimes it just grabs us. Absolutely. And if it grabs us, it can probably grab tens of thousands of people more. So
Oh yeah,
we could just spec on what we love. If you just spec on what you love, there's a good chance you'll be right. Eddie's mullet said, if you follow that stupid app, anything is a key. Okay. Oh, I know what he's talking about. That's a
yeah.
different story. I get it. There was another comment he had, but I think I lost it. Oh, it said, I'd be on Instagram, but unfortunately, I'm a grown up. Eddie, we're all grown ups. We just.
Hey, you're living vicariously through us to be on Instagram because you see this fire ass picture right here on Instagram. All right, grow up.
Yeah,
I
man.
love Eddie's
Yeah.
mullet. He's one of the true regulars here. His sense of humor, his wittiness is just. I mean, Eddie's mullet. Did you see his little avatar? It's literally a picture of Eddie's
I
mullet.
couldn't even see, I couldn't
Nice up.
even see the avatar, but that's hilarious. Oh, I see it. Oh, that's Eddie, like Eddie Brock's mullet. That's funny, man.
Yeah,
Get
it's
out of here.
cool.
Oh, I see it.
I love it.
Oh,
I love
that's
it.
cool. That's cool.
So, yeah, I agree with both you and Symbiote Ring. A good point, or something to point out is the what if Deadpool or what if Venom possessed Deadpool? There's
Yeah.
nothing important about that book, but it is solidified itself as a key, and I believe in that. These
Yeah.
certain covers, they're key status. Like, good luck trying to
Straight
get
up.
them. I totally
Straight
agree
up.
with that. Totally agree with that. And then
Straight up.
also, this particular drawing by Adam Kubert,
Yeah. Yeah.
when I was a child, this right here mesmerized me. I remember
Oh, man.
seeing, like, I think it may have been Wizard Magazine way back in the day. It was a preview or something of it. And then I
Dope.
saw the card, and I was just like, dude, so Venom can just, like, do that to Ghost Rider? I love
Right?
this guy. And he looks
Yeah.
awesome, and he's just out here decapitating Ghost Rider. Like, I love this guy. So
So sick, man.
this is such a great book, man. I
It
really, when I
is.
saw this post, I almost like blacked out.
When are we
That is
gonna get
something.
a newsstand in your collection? You don't really like trip
I
off the
have
newsstand
one,
versus
but it's
direct.
raw,
Oh, okay,
bro.
cool.
I have a shit ton of newsstands. A lot of them are
Okay,
moderns, and when I actually
okay.
got into on Instagram and getting into the community, a lot of people started pointing out, like, damn, dude, you got the newsstand. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell that is, man, but cool. And
Yeah,
now it's
yeah.
like, oh, wow. I have a New Avengers, the Lionel Yu Wolverine like Venomized cover. You know what I'm
Okay.
talking
Oh,
about?
I know. I might need a visual,
It's like,
but I'm gonna follow your story.
so I have that. It's super modern, and it was a newsstand, and I posted it, and some guy messaged me and was just tweaking. It was like trying to buy it from me. And I'm like, dude, it's not a 9.8 or nothing like that. And he's just like, I don't care, I don't care. You know, I want this book. And I was like, I'm gonna hold on to it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
hold on to it.
What?
This guy
Why is
is
this
losing
person
his
after
cool
this
over
so
this.
heavy?
Yeah, and I think he actually got on Facebook and shared a picture, and was like
Let
ranting
me
about
go.
it.
Let me eBay the cover real quick, just so I'm like completely up to date with you. I want to know what it was. What was the? It was called what?
New Avengers. I can't remember the exact issue, but the cover is like Wolverine, but he's like slightly venomized. The story's like the Doctor Doom drops the venom
Oh
bomb on
yeah, yeah,
Manhattan.
yeah. Absolutely, absolutely.
Now,
So, and this book is from. Let me just grab the year 2007. Yeah, this is a hot newsstand. Like '07 to.
mhm.
I just found out that newsstands ended in 2013. I always thought they ended in
Yeah,
2011 for Marvel. For DC, they went to 17, but I just found out it was 13. And so, like this era, '07 to 2013, these are the hot commodity newsstands. A diehard newsstand collector is definitely going to tear your DMs up looking for that book. I like it.
yeah, that guy was freaking out. He was just like, oh, okay, hold up. I'm
That's
gonna hold on
awesome.
to this for a little bit. I,
Yeah.
I like
For,
I like the obscure rare stuff.
man, come on, man. You're speaking to my soul directly when you say something like that. Symbiotes and rare. Oh, I can't get away from it?
That's what I really like about the whole newsstand thing. Like seriously, I didn't even realize that was another thing that was pointed out to me. I had the Amazing Spider-Man 700, the collage
Yep.
French serial cutter, and it was a newsstand. And my dude was like, "Congratulations, man! I think that was one of the last printed Marvel books with a newsstand on it." I was like,
Wow.
interesting. So I don't know if that's factual. I haven't gone that far into it again. It's just
Dude,
like
that book's from
it's cool.
2013, so it is definitely one of the last ever printed newsstands. What a sick book to have in a newsstand. I don't even know if I realized you had that. That's pretty
Dude,
sick.
I'd have to get out, or somebody would have to painstakingly search through my what couple year timeline now
Oh
to
yeah, you
find
got so
some.
much stuff, dude. You got so much stuff.
It's
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 unbelievable.
crazy.
Yeah.
I think about it sometimes. Like there's books that I posted 5 years ago that I've never posted again. Like maybe I should break it out and repost it. But just
Dude,
digging
you
around.
totally can. You probably got, first of all, congratulations on the growth on Instagram. I know we talked about it a little bit earlier, but congrats. But in
Thank you,
the
sir.
in the last time that you've posted something from years ago, you probably got 5,000 to 10,000 new eyeballs that hadn't seen it.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, let's start. I'm all for getting those new posts up. Like, dude, I love posting something on my feed, and a year later, I'll just throw it on my story, and I'll just say, I just wanted to look at this with you guys, and it's just a beautiful thing. We love these things. Repost it, man. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I might have to start doing that a little bit, digging at the oldies but goodies. Speaking of
Yeah.
oldies, this is
Yes.
another book. This one's impressive, dude. I cannot pronounce Bill's last name to save my life, but for the longest time,
I
I didn't even realize he was the artist because I know it's a
right,
photo and
right,
half art. I had
right.
no idea who the artist was, but to
Facts.
have this signed by him in a 9.6, bravo, good sir. Bravo.
Thank you, my man. Thank you, my man. That I want to. Okay, so I pronounce his name Sinkovich, and I have no idea. Yes, that book is
Oh,
my
yeah.
inspiration, my friend. I'm going to tell you the story. You may know bits of the story, but your 9.4 in your hand, right there, is part of my inspiration as to why the things that I'm about to tell you in this story took place. So if you'll give me a
Oh,
moment, I'll take us back in time, and I'll start telling this story here.
let's do
It
it.
it was it was around the time I had first got on Instagram. Like it must have been a year and a half or 2 years ago, something of that sort. The pandemic was in full swing and the market was starting to go bananas, right? And I had met, you and I had connected on Instagram already. I was making my way through Instagram, figuring out where's my tribe, where are the pages that I'm going to appreciate the collectors, what's happening here. I met Epic Comicology, Taj, right? And if I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong, Taj may have been the person that Preston submitted your book for.
Yes, sir. He is an
Absolutely.
absolute wizard, dude. This thing,
Yeah.
I was like, 9.0, I'll be stoked. And when I saw it was 9.4, I literally messaged him, was like, you are a freaking wizard. Do not let anybody tell you less.
Amazing. And so I had a copy, but it wasn't great. And I didn't have it forever. I had it around that time that everyone started talking about it. I don't remember if I picked it up prior to seeing yours or after. That part I don't remember. But that's around when it became on my radar. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to figure this book out and grab one. And so I picked one up and I sent it to Taj. And we anticipated that it needed a lot of love. This is the first one that I dealt with. It's not this one that you see here in the picture. It needed a lot of love. And I asked Taj to actually make a video on his channel about it. So he has a really beautiful video about caring for that particular copy. And we were awarded a 9.2 from CGC. And I did elect to have that Carnage label on it too. So basically, it's like the one grade lower, but a relative to your book, inspired by your book, right? And so I was quite happy with the 9.2. I did feel it was an undergraded 9.2, but I was still happy with it because, like you said, that book, and like someone in the comments said, Eddie's Mullet said a 9.0 or higher is massively impressive in that book. And we'll talk about that as well, like where that book came from, what the distribution was, and so on and so forth. But so I was hooked. I was addicted. But I mentioned to a few people that I'm going to sell it, and they said, you cannot sell that book. That's an impossible 9.2. And I said, I don't think you guys understand. 9.2 was not my goal here. I'm not done. That was just the beginning for me. I'm grading 9.8s in this book. And everyone was like, good luck, buddy. So I'm a very persistent and my hunt is different. My hunt is, people hit me up and they're like, yo, where do you get books? And and I don't have an answer because I am the reason that I do things and I don't have an answer for you. Like weird stuff happens and I keep pushing for it. So I ended up with about 13 copies of Maximum Carnage. High grade. Yeah. High grade, presumably uncirculated. And so I have a process of the way that I like to do things. First, I'm going to go through them and sell off to recoup my investment and make a profit at the same time, if possible. The ones that I don't think are going to grade as high as I would want them to. Naj is in the building. What's up, Naj?
What is up, Naj?
Yeah, that's awesome. From England, from the UK. It's like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, whatever it is. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh,
yeah,
wow. Yeah, for real. Thank you for coming to hang out.
That's dope. That's super dope. And I don't know if Naj knows this story, so this is interesting too. Eddie's Mullet, 13. And so I started to sell off the ones that I did not think were going to achieve a 9.6 or higher, and I sold them as 9.2 or better. And depending on the grade, I sold them, $500, $700, $800, so on and so forth. And I did a good job of getting rid of 4 or 5 of them. And then I started to submit my own. Of course, Taj, Taj was who was caring for my books for me. And we started to achieve 9.6s. But we were achieving 9.6s on books that they could have given me a 9.8. So I'm like, man, what's going on here? But at that point in time, I will keep, I won't say how much I was selling them for because the market has pulled back a little bit on the book. And right now this is not financial advice, like do whatever anyone wants. But the price of a 9.6 right now is a very grabbable price point compared to where I was selling them a year and a half ago. Like
these things were going crazy.
And I sold a few at a much higher price. Like the market was there, the demand was there, so on and so forth. But I'll cut this story short. I kept 2 copies for the signing because there was a Sinkovich signing. Sinkovich, and I kept 2 copies for the signing. And there are no 9.8 signed books on the census for this. There are none. So my goal was to attain a 9.8 signed. That's what I wanted to do. And I thought with these 2 books, I had a shot at a 9.6 and a potential 9.8. And then there are about 13 or some odd 9.8s on the census. I don't remember. Now, with my batch of books, I actually only achieved 9.6s, beautiful 9.6s, and I achieved one with color touch. I got one 9.6 with color touch. What the heck? Anyway.
So is it the purple label? The restoration
Yeah,
label?
it was yeah, it got a purple label. It did.
No
It got a
shit.
purple label. I did sell it, and the person that bought it from me on eBay is now a great friend of mine, and now we're connected on Instagram. So even though it was a purple label, it still spread positivity, still built the
Hell yeah.
community of us
Dude,
as
that
collectors.
most of these books, I don't mean to cut you off, most of these
No.
books, especially this one, it doesn't matter what it says at the top. You know what I
Yep.
mean? It doesn't
Yep.
matter what it
Yep.
says.
This book is special, and it connects you right away because you know what it is, and you already know you're one of them. Like, oh, we're on this page together. I love it. So I graded a bunch of 9.6s, but the reason I did successfully bring a 9.8 into my collection is because two of the 9.6s I sold, and I purchased a 9.8 with that money. So that's the same as grading a 9.8
There
because
you
it
go.
was profit that I used to buy the 9.8. And so I do have a blue label 9.8. Sorry, I apologize. I did have a blue label 9.8. I did sell it. I sold it for $1,000 more than I paid for it because it's hard for me to refuse $1,000 profit, especially when that means I just get to hunt again. I love both of those things. I love making it happen, making the profit, and making it happen again. So I was like,
Oh
okay,
yeah.
fine, you can buy the book. But this particular book I'm not selling. So out of the signing, one came back a 9.4. Paul, what's going on? He said, got your package today, Manu. Thank you so much. Paul, thank you, my friend. That was very generous of you what you did, and I hope everything arrived safely. Thank you. And so, speaking of Carnage, one of the books that arrived with Paul is a Carnage 361. I mean, Amazing Spider-Man 361 newsstand. So that's one of the books. In any
That's a
case,
nice one.
yeah, it's a good one. I submitted and it's a great time to buy that book too. And so I submitted two of these for the signing. It was my first time ever submitting for a signing, and we elected to have one signed in silver and one signed in white. Well, let me tell you, my friend, I am so happy. One came back a 9.4. I sold it. And then the 9.6 I was keeping for myself. And the other 9.6 that I kept is my blue label 9.6. But the reason I kept it and sold the 9.8 is because my blue label 9.6 looks better than the 9.8 that I sold. You know,
Dude, some of that stuff is so weird.
it's
I
not only
uh
weird, it's nonsense. But we'll get into that. You know.
I
Um.
sent this to Raj. I sent
Okay.
him a Amazing Spider-Man 316. I sent him
Mm-hmm.
the Amazing Spider-Man 252. They all look identical, but the other two, this one 9.8, the other two 9.2s because of light rust on the staples. And bro, I mean,
Oh.
you can't even see anything. He was even saying, you
Wow.
know, he could clean it, but if they can detect that they would have purple labeled it. And I was like, you know,
Yeah. There's a risk there.
yeah,
There's a risk
I
there.
guess we'll
I'm
just
gonna
do.
talk about that with you more though. I want to talk about the inconsistencies, and that's obviously not an easy conversation, but I'm gonna talk about it, and I'll cut this Maximum Carnage story to an end here. Ultimately, the 9.4 came from the signature, and the 9.6 came, and the 9.6 was the one that Sinkovich signed in white, and I'm so happy because it is so
It's clean.
breathtaking to me. This to me is it. This to me, even though it's not a 9.8, there are no 9.8 signed, so it is the top graded. Um, this to me is the most beautiful copy of Maximum Carnage I've ever seen, with that bold, clean, streamlined signature at the bottom. It's oh
It's
man,
clean.
this thing I I've thought about selling it because someone has one listed right now for $5,000, and there's another one listed for 11,000. These are signed 9.6s, and I'm like, I could just come in at 4,000 and maybe grab a sale then, because I don't know why they're pricing them so high. And at 4,000, I am tempted to sell it, but I can't. How am I going to replace this book, my friend? Like, I love replacing blue labels, but how am I ever going to replace this one? Look how perfect that signature came out. It's
Yeah,
a crapshoot. Oh,
yeah. You would most likely never. Even if you did get another book and get it signed in white. Once you got it in hand, I don't think you would feel that same feeling you get from this one.
yeah.
After
Yeah,
that,
I don't
I
think
got
I
a
can get rid of
certain
this one.
I got a certain book that's signed with red, and I had a raw that I could have resubmitted to have signed, and I just thought about, like just doing it in black or something like that. Like it just wouldn't work. So I just eventually sold the raw, got the whole signature thing out of my mind, and just stuck with the red. And I'm glad I did. It's like one of my
I'm
favorites.
with it, man.
Red,
I'm with it.
red
I love when we
signatures on
make the
sketch
right
covers.
decisions.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Planet Clintar in the building. What's going on? This is cool,
My
man. This is
man.
super sick. So yeah, I do
Yeah,
have my
Katie's
I
still
have
hunting
my
one of
blue
these.
label. Say it again.
Katie's still hunting one of these.
Oh, Katie,
Yeah,
we got to
there.
get you one. prices are good right now, Katie, but be careful when you're buying the raw ones, just because these are tough grades and there are color touch copies out there. But Katie, I'll tell you what, if you're on Instagram, my handle's the 9.9 Newsstand. If you ever want to know where to look for the color touch, I'm quite experienced with this book. So definitely hit me up. And I'll tell you a funny story, my friend. I'll tell you two funny stories really quickly still about this. Oh my gosh, everything's really quickly and it never is. One of the raw
It's all
copies
good. I'm enjoying the conversation.
I appreciate it. One of the raw copies, I actually identified where the color touch was. One of the raws that I had remaining that I still planned on grading. Because after my color touch came back, I located the color touch. And it had the same color touch. So I sold a raw copy for like $500, advertised that it had color touch. Like I took pictures of it, let everyone know this has color touch. Now a friend of mine buys the book, submits the book, gets a 9.6, no purple label. It has color touch.
Wow.
And they did not know to. Not only that, here's the real doozy. Here's the real doozy. Remember I said one of the first few I was just like selling like $600-700 just to get rid of the ones that I did not think were going to hit 9.8. Well, one of those is now a blue label CGC 9.8.
Go figure.
Go figure. The 6 I send all hit 9.6, and I saved the best ones for myself. And out of the ones that I sold, one of them hit 9.8. This will all. So Eddie's mullet said CGC is a joke, and I don't want to, against Eddie. I'm just gonna say I agree. I'm sorry. They need help. All right, Eddie. Eddie's
that's
mullet,
the better answer. They do need help. They are fucking
They need
swamped.
but they are swamped, but also I don't think that now I'm starting to lose so much faith that I don't think there's any correcting them. I think them as a business has overtaken what the mission may have been at some point, and I can't blame a business for doing that. It is now our responsibility to take into control what we can control, and we're probably not going to do what it takes to actually teach them the lesson. See, we keep getting smacked around and we keep accepting it as if it's okay. And then we also, for some reason now, have gotten to this place where when they correct a mistake, we think they've done us a favor. Well, no, they haven't. There's no favor in doing what we paid you for. There's no favor in making us take 4 times the time when we've paid for the rush turnaround, because now we have to correct it and your customer service is in shambles. I'm done making excuses for them. We have to take it into our own hands. And unless we stop spending our money with them, they're never going to change. And I don't know that we're going to stop spending our money, because my truth is I'm not going to spend my money with CBCS. I don't like them that much because of the brand. I don't have a personal problem because I don't grade with them. So I don't have any personal problems with them. I just don't like the brand that much yet. That could change. CGC is the brand I love. CGC is the brand I adore. And I wish CGC and I still were, a functioning, healthy relationship. But unfortunately, we're not. And it's not my fault. It's just because they don't care at all. And you can't blame them. Businesses get too big to pay attention to detail. But it's a grading company. And what we pay for are the details. And those are gone now, my friends. Those are gone. If you recently submitted a book, 10, 15 books, and you've got 9.2s, 9.4s, and 9.6s, I can't promise you those are 9.2s, 9.4s, and 9.6s. But what I can promise you is somebody was in a rush, they wanted to get to lunch, or they just wanted to finish their week, and they graded your books and tossed them over to shipping. That is what happened. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. There's no accuracy there anymore, and there's very little integrity there. And I feel bad for saying this because I have friends that work at CGC. I have friends that are closely associated with CGC, but I don't care. I do not care. I'm not going to bite my tongue just because it might hurt someone's feelings, because my feelings are hurt when I spend $1,500 on walkthrough submissions and I get crapped on, not by bad grades, but by bad grades, by broken cases, by careless packaging, by poor communication when it's time to rectify an issue. We don't accept this from any other business. Why are we accepting it here? Why are we so scared to challenge these grading companies? And I'll tell the community another thing. We don't need to grade our books, all right? I am a grader. I'm not one of those guys on eBay that says, I'm not a grader. I am a grader, and I guarantee my grades sometimes. I'll sell raw books with a grade-untee. That's what I call it. I made it up. I'll tell you what I think the grade is, and if it doesn't grade that, I'll pay your money back, and I'll pay your grading fee for you, because I am a grader. And so I want to urge the community to realize, hey, for a second, you guys can pause. You don't have to grade your books. Don't give this company the money that doesn't respect you, because you're just giving them more power, and that's going to lead to more disrespect. Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. This is not an exception, and we've already given them too much power. They are not the collecting community. We are. They are an ancillary product. They're an addition. They're an add-on. They were created to tell us. They were created to tell us the grade of something because people were scared to buy something because someone said it was a certain grade. Well, guess what? They don't do that anymore. They don't give you accurate grades anymore. So they aren't what they set out to be. So now it's the same as listening to someone else tell you what the grade is, because those graders don't know what they're doing, and neither do most of the people on eBay. But I'll tell you what, fellas, you buy from me, you'll get an accurate grade, right? So from now on, the 9.9 Newsstand is a grading company, and I will stand by the grade. Thank you for listening, everybody.
Hope you enjoyed the TED Talk, everyone. Bro, so I have sent out a few books to have them graded, and they all came back, and they're all 9.8s, and I'm like, hell yeah, all right, woohoo! Yeah. And then sitting there looking, I'm like, wait a minute. There was a goddamn chip in one of them, and it was like smashed into the very top of the book, so it literally tore through the book, and it was an exclusive Clayton Crane Venom First Host, the Possessed Venom 300 homage, and it was signed by Clayton Crane. So this little chip just massacred the book, and I messaged him. I sent him emails like, "Hey, this is damaged, and I don't know what's going on, but here's pictures and yada yada yada." And they messaged me back like real quick and real brief, like, "Oh, no problem. If just send it to us and we'll replace it." And I'm like, "Well, this is a 500 print book, and it's signed by the artist. And at this time, there was no in-house signing stuff going on. So I was just kind of like, I don't get this. So I just kept it for a while. And I actually ended up trading with one of my buddies, and he didn't mind it at all. He was really happy to have it, and I got a slab from him in return. And the world kept on turning, baby. But
the world does keep on turning.
I have been noticing. I have been noticing that there's more and more like stuff going wrong with them, grading wrong and stuff like that. And then we get the whole, now they're not putting, I like when it actually says on top of it, first appearance. If it's a first appearance, I want it to say it right at the top. And I heard that they got rid of it for a little while.
No, not that. We can clarify that, but they did not get rid of those identifiers. They get rid of defects on older books being on the label because big sellers didn't like those reducing the buyability of it. You know how CGC said prominent members of the community? We don't know who the prominent members of the community are, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize that if you're selling books that cost $100,000 or $200,000, it's less attractive to buy a book if the label says center missing, spine torn, staple replaced. Like those details still exist, but you have to go into the database and put in the cert number and pull those details. A few details they've actually omitted entirely, and that is a bit of an issue, but most of the details are still there. They're just no longer going to be printed on the label. Some people hate it, some people love it. The only reason that I was insulated from that and didn't care is because I don't deal in those kind of books, right? And modern books not yet. I don't yet. I've started to bring into my collection some things that I'll be showing in the weeks to come, but I haven't yet. And modern books, things, from the 90s and up, we don't have any of those kind of defects listed on our labels because our books don't have any of those kind of defects, or else no one would grade a book from 2001 if the spine was split 5 inches. You would just kind of toss it in a box.
There's a page
somewhere.
missing.
Yeah.
I totally feel you.
Yeah. But sorry, not to cut you off. I apologize. I just wanted to say the first appearance stuff will still be there because that's actually a positive selling factor. They'll never remove positive selling factors.
I must have misheard it. I must have misheard it. I thought they were tossing around the idea or something. I have no idea. But
no, it's all good. Yeah. Oh, this book. I love this book. Oh, gosh.
Oh, yes, sir. Now, this one I do have in a newsstand, but it's not graded, and I don't think it ever would 9.8. There's like the tiniest little like indentation in the spine at the very top. So I don't think it would ever 9.8. But it was cool to find because around the time I had a direct, And I had learned about the whole newsstand thing at this point and found one in the wild, and I just remember being like, holy shit, this is cool. And
Yeah.
it's a really cool. The newsstands are just cool collector's items because of what it really means. You know, like they don't sell these newsstand books like this anymore. You can't go into like a little grocery store and find these books. So it's kind of like a
Yep.
neat little historical thing. I consider it. I don't know. Everything's a freaking collector's item to me, so don't even listen to what I say. But
No,
I
I'm with you, though.
appreciate it.
It
It's
represents
different
an
to
era
me.
past. It is.
Yeah,
It
and
definitely
I
is.
think
Yeah,
that's really
for
cool.
sure. I agree with you.
So
I agree with you.
just this is another one that I've only seen one. It's the one I have. So when you posted this, it was just like, damn, like that one I found that if it didn't have that little nick, it'd be a 9.8. And then to see this, it was just like, oh, like it looks so damn good. I know we just went on about CGC, but I love CGC. I know they have a lot of issues they need to get fixed. Hopefully they
Yeah.
do get it
Yeah.
fixed.
Yeah.
We need more people in there that actually collect comics. I don't know. That should be like one of them. Like, do you collect comics? And if you don't, piss off.
You know, man, that's
But
such a conversation. Yeah.
dude, this in a 9.8, just beautiful, man.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
man. And I gotta say, I love CGC. I wouldn't give a crap if I didn't like them. I'm offended because I want them to be the grading company we want them to be. I love the CGC case. I
I
absolutely
hear it.
love it. I'm just pissed off because they don't love us back. You know, you can't stay in that kind of relationship. It's not healthy.
It's a
You know what I
one-way
mean? But
street.
it's a one-way street and it shouldn't be, man. We keep the lights on in that building. It's not the other way around. Anyway, this book is super dope in a direct or a newsstand. This particular one here, I did not sell. This is the first 9.8 newsstand that entered my collection, and I still have it. But since then,
Nice.
2 or 3 have come and gone. And at the height of the market, these started ticking up to $700. And right now, auctions for this book are ending around 300. 300 is the bottom for this book. This book, a newsstand 9.8 of this book will not sink to 150, and you may be able to snatch one for 200. But what pride of ownership having this book. Beautiful book. I don't know when it will go back to 700, but 200 to 300 is a great price for this in a 9.8 newsstand. Absolutely.
I really like Symbiote Rain's comment right here. This sums it up best. Newsstands are lone survivors. They went out into the field and made it back home safe. That is such a great analogy. That is so damn true. You got to think,
absolutely
anybody and anyone could just walk by and pick these things up and thumb through it. So a
And they
9.8
did.
newsstand, yeah. I mean,
Like I
it's
said in
good
one of these
stuff.
other videos, I said when you picked one of these up at a grocery store, it went into your bag. Or I said I use 7-Eleven as an analogy, and I said it went into your bag with like your Skittles and your chocolate milk, you know. And everyone was like, Skittles and chocolate milk. They thought that was hilarious. But the truth is, that's how newsstands are treated. There were no bags and boards at Barnes and Nobles when you bought your comic
Nope.
book. It went into a bag, like a plastic bag, you know. And
Yep.
so yeah, the
They
fact that they were
treat like
neglected.
magazines.
Exactly. And that's what makes them so special now. The survivors, man. And I always love a survivor. A survival story that's what I'm into. So I dig it.
I think that's the best analogy ever for an explanation of a newsstand comic book.
Yeah, super good, man.
So that was just making me think. Do you? So when did you start to get super deep into collecting? And
Okay.
what about Venom? Is it that just that draws you to him? Because out of all, oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, sorry. I lost you for a second, but you said out of all, and then I lost you. But please carry on.
Oh, just out of all the characters in the world.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I put it out there. The violence that, you know, Venom has portrayed all throughout the years, the brutality, just the looks. That's what really draws me. The whole anti-hero thing really grabs me. So what about Venom out of all the characters really stands out to you?
So I'm trying to dive into the mind of 9-year-old me, you know, that first was introduced to him. But I won't even get too much into that side. Here's what I'll say. I react off of an intangible. I recognize something that I love, and I'm immediately attached to it. You know, and so when I was 7, 8, 9 years old, however old I was when I first started going into these comic book stores and first started to find an appreciation for comic books and reading these stories, I can't tell you exactly what it was that pulled me in, but it was McFarlane and Bagley's renditions of Venom and Spider-Man as well. But something about the symbiote suit caught me immediately. And it wasn't just the symbiote suit on Venom, it was black suit Spider-Man as well. I love Spider-Man. I love the agility of Spider-Man. I love Peter Parker. I love his personality. I love his conflict as a human being. So the Spider-Man story, the Spider-Man cast of characters pulled me in. But what McFarlane did when he started drawing Spidey in this sort of cool, more like street artist sort of way, like I don't even know what to call it. You know, you had your old school depictions of these characters. They were like the artistry was old school, you know, it was identifiable with an era of the past. And then McFarlane came in and just spiced things up, you know, made things just like sleeker, made Spidey's face a different silhouette. And then when he put Venom together, like we all know the first image of Venom, I wanted to from the last page of issue
299.
299, yeah, the cameo
Hmm.
Venom. Brother, I
The
was in
money
love.
shot.
That was that evil grin, that mischievous look, the sleek black suit, the spider on the chest. Like I can't put my finger on it, but just from a visual perspective, it was over for me. I was a symbiote from that moment forward. You know, like it was just a wrap, and I loved everything about it. And then there were covers like Amazing Spider-Man 363 that had Carnage's face and Venom's face and Spidey's face floating on the green background. It was drawn by Bagley. Those are some of my fondest visual memories of comic book art from when I was in the 90s. And it just completely took over for me and stuck with me. Something about McFarlane. I know McFarlane goes on to say he hates the black suit and it wasn't his thing, but I'm so happy he was involved in it. I'm so happy he
Yeah.
did the things that he's done. I've got artwork on the walls in this room and in another that are not original art from McFarlane. I wish I had some original McFarlane art, you know, but I have some of my favorite things framed and stuff like that, and I just get such a pleasure out of walking by and looking at them, because what it awakens in me is that child, you know, like the nostalgia is still there, and I just react to darker things, to like black aesthetics. And so,
Yep.
you know, Venom was everything for me, man. Like he's just the dopest character. The way Bagley did Venom, like on the cover of the 375, he's sick. The way McFarlane did Venom with the more evil sort of look on his face, but something still charming about him is sick. Like, man, I don't know. And then when he became Lethal Protector, he was in San Francisco. I'm in San Francisco. So it's like, I'm just like, everything about it is so sick to me. And then here we are now, 30 some odd years later. And it is not to me about, not that I don't appreciate or respect it, just the truth in it is, I'm not up to date on the modern storylines. I don't know what's happening in the world of Venom and the character developments these days. I'm not sure. But I collect and react to what I loved from when I was younger. You know, now I have a way of actually collecting the things that I couldn't when I was younger, and I still have my collections from when I was younger. So sometimes I'll just go through those, become inspired, hunt higher grade versions of the things that 9-year-old me put away. There are cards in my collection that are Venom cards and stuff I've graded from my childhood. And if they didn't achieve a 10, well, I'm an adult with a little bit of money now. I just buy the 10. So I still have my graded
Hmm.
childhood card, and I have the PSA 10s of them, because I'm just becoming. This is what Justin always says, Spidey hits. And I'm going to get the quote wrong, but he says, we can finally afford to be the kids we've always been. And that's
I feel
exactly what's
that.
happening here, you know?
I
And
feel
so,
that.
yeah, so you know, I've always loved Venom. I loved everything the symbiote suit brought into the storyline. I loved the conflict of personalities between, you know, the symbiote suit being the one voice and then your good voice, like all of these things. They they worked for me. And then Carnage was just, you know, maximum crazy. And those three, you know, Spidey, Venom, and Carnage, I don't know, man, it just doesn't get any better than that. It just literally doesn't get any better than that. Oh,
I've
Card for
always loved
Comics, what up?
Spider-Man. Yeah, I was highlighting that. Definitely appreciate that, my man. I feel like I've seen. Is he on Instagram? I feel like I've seen
Card
this.
and Comic Freak. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what's up.
He used to be Card Freak, but you know, has been polite enough to tell me that I might have inspired the change in that name because he and I talk comics all the time, and his comic collection is growing now. So now he's Card and Comic Freak, and I
Dude,
appreciate him being here.
comics and cards go hand in hand. As a matter of fact,
Dude,
it breaks my soul that the comic shops don't order these cards.
man.
Sygona is suggesting we regularly break down all the new issues when they come out. She's suggesting you come on and do a recap with us one time. Bro, the new series was tough. It's a tough
Okay.
one. It's a
Dude, that
tough
new
one.
Lethal Protector line, I'm actually gonna read it because the covers of it, it's bringing me back to the '90s. It's so well done. It's such a '90s look brought into the modern era. I love the art on the new Lethal Protector. The new
Paulo
Carnage artwork is
Sequeira.
crazy. Oh
Dude,
yeah,
the new
dude, he's
Carnage
killing it.
series is nasty. But to go back to what you were saying, that's so
Yeah,
funny because a lot of the stuff you were saying, it's like I feel like I'm listening to myself talk about it, which is freaking awesome.
man.
It was the same thing with me. I love Spider-Man. The first time I seen that all black suit, it was just like, oh, that's just really cool looking. I was a little kid and it was just impressed by that. And then I started seeing this dude with the mouth,
Yeah,
with the
man.
teeth, and I've always
Yeah.
liked monsters and stuff like that. So that just made me like really get into like it's like an evil Spider-Man. I like Spider-Man, but the
Yes.
evil Spider-Man. You know what I mean? I
We
kind of
gotta have a
miss
little
that.
bit of the evil, man. A little bit.
I miss that. I miss that. But yeah. What was I saying? There was something you said that just made me. Oh. So one of the first trading cards I ever really got was a Venom card. Two of the first trading cards I ever got as a kid
Yeah.
were
Yeah,
Venom
which
cards, and I
ones?
still have them to this day. The 1990s, the regular, we're not it, Impel or whatever the hell it's called.
Oh, that 90 Marvel Universe. Marvel Universe 1.
That, and then I got the 1994. It's the Venom, it's a 9 card puzzle piece, but it's an error card. It was pack pulled.
Oh.
And basically, my stepfather pulled it. He kind of looked at me and was like, "What the heck? Like this is weird." And he just gave it to me, and I've always kept it. And because of that, no lie, the only thing that really that dude did that lasted with me forever is he was a comic collector and a card collector, and he had a comic shop for like a few months when I was like a child, and that's actually where I seen all this. The first time Amazing Spider-Man 300 came into the stores, I was in a comic shop and we had them
Wow.
everywhere. And that's my first time seeing the black suit Spider-Man, and it just kind
Dude.
of grew from there. And then I got that card, dude. I can't believe I still have that card.
I love that,
But
man.
it just locked everything into place. Like, all right, I freaking love this character, and plus he was always beating the piss out of Spider-Man, and who doesn't love seeing that?
You know what I mean? Like the cover of 316. A lot of my friends that are big Spidey
Yeah,
fans, they're just like, why is he doing that to Spidey? I love that cover, man. 316 is dope. So this card that you're talking about, the 1994 Venom card that's part of the 9 card page, is it the one with the red background, the web puzzle?
yeah.
So one of my favorite Venom visuals ever is that visual. And you have an error card of it. That's sick, dude.
I have a drawer full of these top loaders right here. It'd
Yeah,
probably take
yeah.
me forever to
No,
find
no
it, but
worries, man. I'm gonna catch up with you about it though, because I definitely want to see it. I definitely want to see it.
I showed that to Tommy Henderson, the Error Card King, and even he was like, "What the hell?" I was like,
There's
"Hell
a
yeah!"
Tommy Henderson error card king. I'm gonna write that name
Well,
down and see
the
who that
Error
is.
Card King, the Error Card King is something I just made up on the spot, but he collects
Okay.
specifically error cards, and
All right, dope.
Jonathan Marvel Silk Collector, he pointed them out to me,
Oh
but
yeah, yeah. But his
he's in
collection's incredible.
I think he's a moderator on the Marvel comic or the Marvel Card Collectors Worldwide group. Tommy Henderson.
I need to get better connected with all of the guys and gals over there that are doing Marvel card podcasts and things of that sort because Norin is Sketch Card Hive is involved
Yes,
in
sir.
much more than I even realized because like I don't know where he is involved in things and I'm just starting to figure out that certain things are his that I didn't even know were his, right? And so I need to get a little better connected with all of them and all of their endeavors so that I can learn. I just want to continue learning because this
I
card stuff, man. Oh, that book.
Oh yeah, that one. To get it signed by Todd McFarlane, legendary. But before we get sidetracked,
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
group. So I've reached a point in my collecting where I'm pretty much done, and to fill that void, I kind of went back into the cards. And when I went back into the cards, it was just like, damn, I am so behind. I don't know what's going on. We got number cards, we got printing plates, and all this crazy stuff. I don't really know what's
Right?
going on.
Yeah.
Just through the people I've met on here and on that group, like the amount of knowledge I'm learning on these cards, I feel like it's just so much. And it's really important to understand because I couldn't tell you if this specific card is super, super freaking rare or if it's some sort of base card. But I
Oh,
guarantee
which one?
put
Pull
it on
that up
that
again.
group.
Let me.
Let me
Okay.
do the solo screen. My bad.
Yeah, yeah,
So this one, if I were to post this on that group,
yeah,
somebody's going to be able to tell me everything I need to know about this. And
yeah,
I mean, where else can you do that for anything? You can kind of branch out and meet people through here with comic books and stuff, but that is like they got a podcast and everything. Like, it's crazy. Like, all the information you need to know if you're interested in collecting cards, listen to that podcast. It's there.
yeah. You know,
Definitely hit them
it's
guys
really. Oh, I'm going to, man. I want to continue to develop those relationships and make sure that we can establish some friendships and some real fluid communication, right? Because that the Marvel card community, I knew this and I'm just realizing this even more. See, I'm like I am the Marvel card community, but I'm like an outside Marvel card community. It's not like I'm a purist collector that's like has the rarest of the rarest and I never show anybody, but there's that element of Marvel cards where it's like a small group of people that kind of like treat everything as sacred, which is nothing wrong with that. But the truth of the matter is the interest outside of that group is growing and people are going to try to figure out a way to extract not only information, not only like, knowledge, but also the cards themselves. There are more collectors that are becoming inspired and desiring to own these things. So this small community, this sacred community, there's some people that are on the defense right now. There's some people that, but it's just time. It's time to let that go. It's time to let it explode, man. Like spread the love, spread the knowledge. Let's get everybody into cards because cards and comics, once you slab a comic book, it's no different than a big card. You're not reading it anymore. So the
hmm
high grade hunt of our favorite nostalgia driven artwork is the same across cards and comics. And I think a lot of people are realizing that right now. So it's pretty cool.
Comics and cards go hand in hand, dude.
Man,
And
oh man.
real quick. So I know we've had so much to say, but
Yeah,
I
dude,
gotta
we could
do
go
it, man.
forever, I'm sure.
This
Dude,
is a CGC.
wait.
Oh, there we
Uh,
go. Look at that.
that's okay. So they do that. That's actually, I mean, that's
Just
obviously a TCG, but that's a graded CGC Marvel card.
yep. It absolutely is. But they only do these type of cards.
The trading card game cards. But anyway,
Yeah.
let's talk. How do you like it? How do you like the label? How do you like looking at it in that case? What are your feelings here?
Here's my answer and my feelings.
Brother. Brother. Oh,
Does that
snap.
make any
All
sense?
right.
Does everybody understand what I'm getting at? Dude, the
Everybody
fact that we
picking up what
got
he's putting down?
the fact that we got certain cards that use the cover art of certain covers and you can kind of pair them up, like I grading the books for me, especially this one, The Maximum Carnage, that is a
Yeah.
book I'm never going to read. That is a book that is super freaking hard to find. That's like a holy goddamn grail. So I want it graded.
Yeah.
I'm not really, whatever. A lot of people were always like, I used to be one of the people actually. I didn't understand grading. I wasn't into it. I never graded. And then I got my first slab, and it was all kind of accidental. And it ended up being a newsstand Lethal Protector issue 1, 9.8, triple signed
Ooh,
by
that was your
Todd.
first slab?
That was my first slab, and it was like that's like when people go into the drug game and they try the hard stuff first. Like, oh,
Yeah.
don't go too hard. It hit me like, oh my god, I'm in this. I am in this. I want all my book slabs, and
Yeah.
I kind of like toned it down a little bit. With everything going on the past, I don't know, couple years with CGC, I just waiting for everything to kind of chill out, and then I kind of want to get back into grading. But I only have I have a stack of super rare ass books that I want to get graded just because I want them protected, and that be that.
Yeah.
You can accidentally, you guys just watch me accidentally drop this thing. We're fine,
Yeah, right.
If I would have dropped
It
that
could definitely
oh
happen.
comic, yeah. If I would have dropped a comic from that height, even in a bag and board, it's potential to get bashed up. So
Yeah,
what's this? Old
that's
man
true.
has the slab shakes. Yep, withdrawn. Been fighting it.
Yeah, right.
Fighting the urge. Fighting the urge. Staying strong.
So
Come
that's
on.
actually that's actually really really cool to see, because Justin and Sketch, I believe, were telling me that you can get a Marvel card in a CGC case, but it has to be a TCG. They're not doing the comic book cards yet.
Mhm.
And so that's
Right.
really good to see. And that one that you had, did you do that? Did you elect for subgrades? Did it have subgrades?
I actually can't tell you shit because my buddy Zombie Joe, he
Got it. Okay.
sent 3 in trying to get a 10 and he got 9s back and he hit me up and basically gave me the deal of a lifetime for this thing. And for me it was
I
like
love it.
I'll definitely I'll buy this off you. I'll take it. And just looking at it, I did a picture where I put the Marvel Exquisite or the Venom Exquisite card over top of this thing. Dude, the second they start grading actual Marvel cards, like I'm really going to be into that. I pretty much have all my cards cased anyway with these little one touches.
Yep. Yep.
So
Oh, which
why
one is
not
that?
go
That's the
that
red
route?
foil? Show that card again
Yeah,
real
it's the
quick.
red
That's the
foil.
red foil? Yeah, nice,
I
bro.
I don't have the gold. I can't find the gold anywhere.
Okay.
I don't even have the base. You can't find a base. It's like
I
anything
mean,
with
listen, man,
McFarlane.
yeah, man. Come on, man. That 316 cover on a card. Look,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And by this time,
absolutely.
I didn't know it was a parallel. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I get it in, and a few years later, I'm like, oh, it's a parallel. There's a gold one. Shit.
I
I see,
love
man.
it. I
There
love
was
it.
a storm of comments here that I'm missing. Let's
Well,
highlight some real
Naj at
quick.
the end says her first book
There you go.
that she sent in was also a triple sign 9.8.
So she's fighting them demons too. Keep the
Man,
fight.
I'm sure she got hooked immediately. Naj has had some incredible grading stories.
Yeah,
I mean,
first one
come on,
was a
man. We
10.
got a great the first book she graded. Oh, and I think I actually ended up winning one of those books from her, or one of the 10s from her. It was a metal cover, and I won it in a raffle. So it was either the Mario metal cover, or it was the what's the
Huh.
guy's name? Tigum. They call him Tigum, right? The Tigum
Oh,
verse.
yeah.
Yeah,
Do you
the
collect any of
Tigger
that
Venom.
stuff?
No,
Yeah, I don't either.
no. I'm more no, because I don't no. I mean, I'll bring something in every now and then. If no, I don't. The only reason that Tigum ended up in my collection is because I won it from Naj. I did sell it because it was a PSA 10. I mean, a CGC 10. I sold it, but that's the only reason it ended up in my collection.
Well, speaking of your collection, we're getting sidetracked. I'm having fun, man. I'm loving this
It's all
conversation.
good. Yeah, there's no rules to any of this. Shoot.
This book, or this cover, should I say, had Todd McFarlane so butthurt, which I totally get, that he put this one on no sign list. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen, signed.
So
Once
let's
again,
talk about this, man.
bravo.
Thank you, my
Also,
friend. Now,
I don't mean to.
no, yeah.
I feel like my thing keeps cutting out. Guys, if my connection's cutting out, I apologize. I feel like, is this slab cracked?
It
We were
is. It's
talking
way
about.
broken. It's way broken. Actually,
Man.
hold on one second. Hold on one second.
Oh. I think I remember
I'm
the
still
story.
here. I'm still here. Don't worry. I'm still here.
I think I remember the story.
Wait, am I here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I am here. Okay.
I switched it to look at it a little bigger.
So there's parts of this story that I'm gonna leave out, but I'm gonna share it with you in private, old man Venom, because there's certain things that I do want you to know, and I'm gonna tell you. But yeah, this book is super broken. I mean, the book isn't, but the case is like super screwed up. But I
And see,
actually
that's why you grade it. The book is fine, ladies and gentlemen.
The book is fine. The book is absolutely fine. Now, the book could have got damaged even in the case, because I've had those sort of stories as well. But in this particular case, because of what sort of inner encapsulate, there's two different kinds of inner encapsulations from CGC. There's the outer case, there's the inner encapsulation, but the inner encapsulation comes in two forms. And I don't know when they decide to use one over the other. The particular one they used here does not have the corner protecting cutouts, so the book is actually safer. But when you have one of the slabs that have the corner protecting cutouts and you take damage like this, the book can actually fly into the cutout, and the cutout starts about a ½ inch in and it dents the book. And that happens all the time. So books aren't necessarily safe in a CGC case. They may be safer, but shipping is still dangerous. So this particular book came to me super devastated, super broken. And I took pictures of how it was shipped to me as well. And I told the seller, and he was like, yeah, my bad, bro. Like, I don't ship books. And I said, yeah, that's not how you're supposed to do that. So he gave me a little bit of money back. You know, but at the same time, I found it charming. Like, for some reason, since the book is safe, if the book wasn't safe, I would do a reholder. I never reholded it. I think it looks great even with the crack. Like, it adds character. Look at Venom staring at the broken case. Like, he's happy about it too. So I didn't even care. But now the interesting thing about this is, I do believe this book is sold. A friend, I offered it for sale for $775 shipped, and somebody did claim it.
That's a great deal.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. And I recognize that it's broken and somebody might have to spend time and effort if they feel like, you know, replacing the case. But yes, $775 shipped. It is claimed, but we worked out a bit of a structure. So our friend has time to actually pay me for it, but it's not going anywhere.
Nice.
I'm not going to advertise it for sale. Now, here's the thing that I want to talk to you about, because you said it's on the no sign list. And I've heard that said. You know, I've heard that said a lot. Also, this is the only time I've ever seen it signed in blue, and it's signed with the full Todd. Like, you know, when we start talking about Todd McFarlane signatures, I like all Todd signatures, but sometimes it's a T. McFarlane. And a T. McFarlane has become less desirable. We want the full Todd ideally, but that doesn't mean the T. is not a dope thing. T. Still dope. Yeah, it's still Todd signing on your book. But this has the full Todd, and it's in blue. And every single other signed copy I've seen is signed in red, which makes perfect sense because the Marvel hit at the top is in red, and it looks absolutely gorgeous signed in red. But I still thought this was incredibly attractive. And so I purchased it. It came cracked, whatever. It's with me. I've enjoyed it. The reason I'm selling a bunch of stuff right now is because I like selling. There's nothing more to it. I love selling stuff, and I love rebuying and rehunting and regrading. I love selling. Now,
it definitely helps keep. It definitely helps keep everything fresh. I've been feeling that a lot lately.
It keeps things fresh, especially if you have substantial equity in something. It's always nicer to extract that equity, put that into another collectible rather than going into your pockets for it, you know? And so I have been told that this is on the do not sign list. And I have been told that the reason McFarlane was so upset is because that's obviously his first ever visual that he created of Venom, and his signature, his scroll, no identifying factors of McFarlane's name are even found on this cover. So I can dig that he was upset. But then somebody told me the actual one that he decided is on the do not sign list is the rarer version of this cover, which I think is like greenish. It's like a different variant of this cover. And that one's on the do not sign list. But this one he still will sign. I don't know if this is true or not. There's just confusion. What have you heard about that? What do you know about that?
I just heard from the part the way everything went down. He was just kind of mad at Marvel and he wasn't getting full credit and whatnot. And real quick, I just want to highlight this. Comic Card and Freaks. Manu, he's saying we should do this every Friday, man.
Dude, I'm in. Bro,
we'll definitely do some more of this again.
Yeah,
and also,
it might not even be every Friday. We'll just pop in whenever we're both free.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I love being able to do this stuff and just sit down and just talk. So the color version 1 in 1000 that I have still, but it has a print defect on the it has a print defect on the spine, so I don't think I'll ever 9.8 just because of that.
Interesting.
And I had this version, and after a while, I started looking around for like a better copy because the one I had was I just knew, like, I don't know, even with the press, this isn't a 9.8. So I kept hunting around. I got another copy. I scanned it up and down. I'm like, this thing's clean as hell. I sent it to Raj. We sent it to CGC. I got the original Venom topper on it. I was so happy, and it 9.0'd. And I was
What?
like, oh, this stings for some reason. And I pissed off sold it to one of my good friends, and he's happy as shit with it. Now I'm like, I should have just kept that. Just the OG Venom label alone. I'm like, son of a bitch, I should have kept that. Yeah, but
Which Venom label was it? There's
happy
two
with it.
retired labels.
The first one, they're both Clayton Crane, but the first one, it's like a full body, and he's kind of got the webbing behind him.
Yep. I know.
That's
Yep.
right here. Just for the viewers, I'll pull this up as quick as I
Yeah.
can.
Let's see
And
it.
we'll keep it moving.
Yep,
That one right there.
Yeah,
It's hard to
absolutely
see.
sick. Yeah.
This one, real quick, I think is the only one in the world with that Venom top. That right there is a goddamn unicorn.
Yeah.
It's
For
rarer
sure.
than a unicorn. What were we just talking about? Oh yeah, I don't know why I
The
was
do
just
not
upset.
sign list.
Oh yeah, the do not sign list. It was just basically because he's kind of mad that they just
Yeah.
started doing this and they didn't pay him or shout him out or give him credit or anything. As a matter of fact, so much time has passed. He actually, at the end of Stanley's life, was there for Stan, and I thought that was so freaking beautiful for him to do that. Like, bygones are bygones. Let Todd McFarlane do a freaking Venom cover. Like, quit reusing his old artwork. Let the man do a new one. And that's probably another thing, you know? Like, they won't hire him. They'll just take his old artwork and have someone else, you know, basically recolor it and retrace it.
Oh
And
yeah.
there you go. I would love to
Yeah.
see a new Todd McFarlane. If we can get new Rob Liefeld Deadpool covers, which no disrespect to Rob Liefeld, but he's in the same like roster as McFarlane. You know, the Image
Yeah.
thing, the Marvel thing, they were both
Yeah.
involved. Let Todd McFarlane do a freaking cover. Or a Wolverine cover. You know what I mean?
Man, I never even thought about that. You're right.
I think
It's
he's
not
just kind of mad about it.
dude, you're right. And it makes a lot of sense. Man, I really sold this book. All right, I guess the hunt's on again. It's hitting me now. I'm seeing it on the screen, and I'm like, this is shipping out in a couple of weeks. Oh no,
Dude, first off, we already know you probably want to end up coming across something bigger and better because that's how it goes, baby. It's a beautiful,
that's
beautiful
what
thing.
we got it. You know, there's got to be something that we aspire to get. You know, and we got to
This
keep aspiring.
this blue signature, blue is one of my favorite
Yeah.
colors. Probably one of my
Nice.
top three. And
Oh,
the placement of it is incredible. And I also got to point out, you ever heard people bitch and complain about his full Todd and they call it Tord? Because the
yeah, I
second
hear it all the time. Yeah,
Tord McFarlane. I think
yeah.
that's so funny. I never really noticed it. It just kind of just
But
struck
what?
me as it's his style when he signs. You know, everyone's got their own style, and then people start saying Tord, and I'm like, oh no, I can't unsee it.
You
But
can't unsee it. Once somebody mentions it, it's Tord from now on.
yep, like damn it, Tord McFarlane. But
Yeah, for real.
that's a really really pretty one, man. I love the blue signature. Speaking of Tord
Oh,
McFarlane,
yeah.
this is another one that is not easy to obtain in this grade
Right.
or in general. And you got this beautiful picture right here of four of them. Where you at, Eddie's mullet? Shit, you're missing on Instagram. I don't know what you do in your adult life, but it ain't seeing heat like this.
Yeah, man, put on your Peter Pan pants and come over to
God.
Instagram. This was the first 9.8 newsstand to enter my collection. I actually did not grade this one, purchased it. I have sold it since. It is not the last one that has come and gone. This was acquired prior to it like booming, and so I got it for a really good price, and I sold it for double what I paid for it. And then it continued to
Nice.
go up, and in the time that it was going up, in the time that this was selling for between $1,100 and $1,500, I was just gathering high grade raws. Because every now and then people will list a direct, and they're old school collectors going through their old school boxes, and they have no idea that there's a newsstand thing happening, and so you'll just pay $50 and you'll end up with a 9.8 Spawn 1 newsstand. And so that has
Yeah.
become my way to play this book. And every time a 9.8 has come into my collection, I have sold it. But that is because I feel ultimately very confident that I will always be able to acquire or create another one. My actual Grail Spawn book, my Spawn 9.8 is not this is my second Grail, but to me, it's the Malibu Sun
Oh,
9.8, right?
that's awesome.
This to me is like the order of importance, the order of significance is Spawn 1 direct, 9.8, go ahead and grab it, 120, 250, depending on when and where. And then the Spawn 1 9.8 newsstand, it's a must-have in a collection, right? It's not that I don't have it in my collection because I don't think it's a must-have. It's just because I know I'm going to get it again. That's the only reason I'm fine. I mean, they are in my collection right now, but I'm just saying that's the only reason I'm happy selling them. But that Malibu Sun is an entirely different beast altogether, and it's reflected in the price. Yep. It's reflected in the scarcity. There's only like 60 something 9.8s on the census. 10 or 11 of them have been added recently, and 7 or 8 of those were added by myself. So I'm proud of that. And those have been distributed. Other collectors now have them in their long-term collection. I just sold one for the new record for that book. I just set that record. I'm sorry if I sound arrogant, guys, but I think this information should be put out there.
That's actually cool, though. That's actually cool.
I appreciate it. So just sold one for $6,000. Don't sell your 9.8 Malibu Sun short, friends. eBay sale was $5,750 about a month and a half ago. I just sold one for $6,000 off of eBay. So there are buyers out there that are willing to pay whatever you're willing to get rid of it for. Don't sell it short if you have it. And to me, that's the supreme Spawn book. Obviously, I want a previews catalog that has this image from the back of the Malibu Sun.
Oh, I'm so glad you showed that off. I was sitting here waiting for. I was going to say, let me see that backside. Let me see that backside. Man. That's also
that visual. Woo. And
so
that's on the
that
cover.
Really adds to it.
It really does. And of course, there's the error copy of this book, which I've never had in my collection. And the color registry or whatever is off on the back, and it's just a completely different color on the back. And that is a grail. I've never had it in any gray. I've never had it. I've never even been physically in the presence of that book. And guys, I specifically hunt hard to find stuff. That there is no secret that book is so scarce and definitely worth the crazy prices that it sells for. I think the last 9.8 of the misprint, I think it sold for 21. I don't want to be wrong, but I think it sold for $20,000, if not a little higher. And that was
awesome.
And that was a while ago. So now it might even sell for more. I'm not sure, but
it always warms my heart. It always warms my heart to hear I'm excelling around the prices that I see these trading cards sell for.
Oh yeah. Oh, we did briefly have that conversation about the trading card prices actually bringing in more dollars than what the equivalent, 9.8 slab book would be. And then one of the easiest way to quantify why that is because, well, a lot of times a PSA 10 of a certain card, there's maybe 5 of them or 15 of them on the pop report, whereas the comic book equivalent, like let's say of the first appearance of Carnage, there's like 3,000 9.8s.
Yeah.
And so that will directly affect
which I totally get. Totally get. And that's another thing, learning from, listening to all the podcasts and all this, just talking cards with all these people, is it makes sense now why this, because when someone first said to me, oh, I think that card's got a pop, whatever, I was like, excuse my language, what the fuck do you mean pop? What?
yeah.
And then it's like, oh, if I start thinking like the CGC Sensi, it's like, okay, I get it. I see what you're saying. And I see a lot of I forget it's slipping my mind. The PSA graded cards will say graded 10 and it'll say pop 1. And I see that a lot. So it seems to me the 10s are like super, super hard to get.
They are. And that is the same way in the comic book community. We go after the 9.8s. Like obviously 9.9s and 10s are attainable, but that's not our, that's like we get lucky, we get one of those. We don't shoot for those. I've shot for them. It is pointless to shoot for them. I've wasted submissions shooting for 9.9s. Go for your 9.8s. Hopefully you land on a 9.9 every now and then,
That's what my boy was doing with this. He was shooting for that 10.
There you go. Yeah, right? And so 9.8s and PSA 10s are like the equivalent, so on and so forth. And pop 10s for a lot, 10s for a lot of these 90s Marvel cards, especially the foil ones, or like 1990 Marvel Universe, because the thing about grading cards is the centering the border, the centering is actually something that affects the grade. In comic books, it's not. If you have a
Yeah.
miswrap in a comic book, you know, you still get a 9.8. You'll just see some of the back cover on the front, but it's manufactured that way. In cards, they don't care. Even if it was manufactured that way, you're still going to get graded down for it. And the early Marvel cards are really terrible with centering, especially when they had a white border. It's so easy to tell when your centering is off because you've got a frame. And so the 10s are very difficult. And now it's funny because when you look at a pop report for a card, for a Marvel card, if it's like pop 30, we think of that as a lot because Marvel community is small still. But if you think of a popular sports card, they've got cards that are pop 20,000 and they're still selling.
Nuts.
It's nuts. So 9.9s are just typos for sure. Hey, my man, you're right.
I got one of them typos. Yeah, I gotta ask. Do you have a 9.9 in possession of any type of book?
No, I've had 10s in my possession. I've never had a 9.9 in my possession. I've never successfully graded a 9.9. I have not. No.
I went on the hunt for a while looking for a 9.9 because it's just a unique thing to add to the collection. And I found one through the lenticular, what was it, Venom issue 155 or whatever the hell it was. But
yeah,
those lenticulars,
the lenticulars can, yeah,
a lot of 9.9s. Yeah, so that was the easy target. But I got myself a 9.9 for the PC. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, like the Spawn 1 newsstand. Like if you got a 9.9 in that, that's better than a Malibu Sun 13. You know?
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, so it seems like CGC and just comic grading in general is a little bit less strict than the trading card game, but ultimately between the both of them, it seems very, very hard to get these 9.9s or these 10s. So
correct.
At least that goes hand in hand.
I'd say that's a fair assessment.
The rollover thing you just explained, I got the one I just posted, the 1 in 25 Venom Stegman cover. That's Bedlam. It's got a rollover. It's got a rollover. So I used to wonder, CPC, huh?
No, I can't. I was gonna pull up your Instagram page real quick, but I can't pull it up right now. I wanted to see what that what the misdraft looked like on that book.
Yeah, I'll have to send you a picture afterwards. It's just a little green border down the side.
Yeah, it's super common to see some of the back cover on the front of a book. For some books, more common than for others. Man, I love this book, man. Marvel Comics Presents 117.
Yes,
dude,
sir.
Sam Keith. Sam Keith is sick. He's crazy sick. I love how he does it. I love how gristly and grimy he makes things. I like the little curly hairs all over Wolverine. I like how Venom's like a knucklehead, you know, like I love what Sam Keith does, man. And this book to me, underappreciated, super sick, spiked last year, has settled. I had a great deal of fun owning this book, just enjoying this book, raw, newsstand, direct, 9/8 of both. Everyone's always happy to buy it. Everyone's always happy to see it. It's just so sick. He's tearing up the cover. The back of this book, I don't like at all. The reverse of this book is some like
and it's like
odd art. Yeah.
It's like a flip book.
Yeah, it's like a flip book. But man, this book is so sick. Oh, and this is the first time Venom and Wolverine ever encountered each other. This is the first time they were together. And they've been together several times after this.
Yep. Dude, they need to be together more. That's like you were talking about earlier. Manu asked me where I came up with Old Man Venom, and since we're looking at this and we're talking about this, I'll go ahead and explain it.
Yeah.
Wolverine is probably my second all-time favorite character, but that is strictly because of Old Man Logan. The Old Man Logan comic book series is initially what brought me back to like comic book collecting.
Okay.
Have you ever read that series? The original Old Man?
No, I didn't.
Oh my
God.
God.
Love Wolverine too, but I never read it.
You can read it online. You gotta read it, bro. I mean, it even involves a T-Rex from the Savage Land that's wearing the Venom symbiote. And that was the icing on the cake for that one. That storyline is probably the best storyline out of anything Marvel's ever done. At least in my opinion, it destroys everything, dude. Everything. So
wow. Okay.
Old Man Venom is a character, or Old Man Venom. Old Man Logan's a character that I went after all the comics, and I got all the first prints, the second prints, third prints. I got all the ratios. I got all of it. That was like the first time it's like, oh, I did it. I got everything. And then they recently did a new Old Man Logan, and it's nowhere near. They dropped the ball. It's nowhere near.
Oh damn. Okay.
So at some point, when Old Man Logan was back in this universe, after what was it, the Secret Wars, when the worlds collided, something like that, he ends up joining the X-Men, and Apocalypse comes through, and he's got the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse, and one of them's Deadpool, one of them's I'm forgetting all the characters, but one of them is Venom. Venom's
Okay.
like death, and it's just a symbiote. So Old Man Logan goes running after Apocalypse, and he just takes the symbiote and just throws it right on him, and it takes him over, and he's just this big hulking Wolverine Venom. And at the very bottom of the panel, it says, "Up next, Old Man Venom." And I also have been trying to collect Venom in its entirety from beginning to end. So it just clicked. I'm like, my account used to be read the collector. All right. And then I saw that panel and I was like, that's it. If you look through my timeline, you'll see all Old Man Logan and all Venom. So that was it. I was like, all right, Old Man Venom. I typed it in and it was like, yep, you can use it. And I just used it. And dude,
Dope.
it's turned into something. I don't know what. It's still turning into something. I don't know what, but man, that's just how that all happened. I was like, that's cool. I like that.
I love knowing that story. That's awesome. I love your name being Old Man Venom. I love knowing that story. Now I want to ask you, where did Symbiote Elite come from?
Symbiote Elite mistakenly gets mistaken as some sort of like club, like you got to get jumped into it or some bullshit. It's not that.
This was my initiation tonight. Hey.
So somewhere along the lines, my account was just every day I had more and more followers. I still to this day, which I absolutely love, I get messages all day long asking questions about whether it's, have you ever seen this, or where did this appear? Is this a good price, and should I trade this for this? Like, it just, I started talking to my buddy, and I'm like, man, this thing's just growing like crazy. Like, I feel like I should lean into it a little bit. And he was like, start adding hashtags to your posts. And I'm like, what the hashtags? Like, I think I had one, and it was like, so I started adding hashtags, and I had another buddy who would just post like the most obscene hashtags I've ever seen. Like, I can't, it's just too vulgar and graphic, but they were just so fucking hilarious. And I'm like, it's just funny. It's just these goofy hashtags that have nothing to do with the thing. And I was just kind of inspired by it one day, and I was just posting all my little hashtags: Venom, Eddie Brock, Carnage, Symbiote, blah, blah. And I was just like, Symbiote Elite, because, I'm just like, I don't know. It's a smart ass fucking thing I came up with. Like, I'm posting everything. You want to know what it is? Here, it's right here. It's right here. Like, this is the Symbiote Elite. Just being a smart ass.
Yeah.
And then people started using it. They started using it a lot, and they were
I
tagging
use the Symbiote Elite hashtag, man.
Bro, just a random ass hashtag. It's not like I announced like Symbiote Elite, let's go. It's just something I was just goofing off, man. I was just goofing off, and it just did something. And I was like, you know what?
Stuck, man.
I like it. It's not a club. It's a lifestyle. Let me for cards and comics. You see all this stuff behind me? This is a lifestyle, okay? I've been collecting this shit for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that have been doing it just like me, just like you. Yeah. And for the hardcore Venom ones, that's what it is. When people are, I don't know, it's just a lifestyle. It's a way to explain your lifestyle. That's it. It's not a club.
Absolutely.
You don't got to pay. I've actually had people get ignorant with somebody, and then somebody messages me like, bro, what's up with your boy? And I'm like, I don't know who this is. What are you talking about? Like, oh, they're talking all this shit, being all rude, and repping the Symbiote Elite. I'm like, yeah, you lost me, bro. Like, you're bringing my stupid hashtag to me like this is my fault. Like, yeah, it's not a club. It's not a club. Maybe it should be. Maybe I should be a dickhead. You can't. No.
You know, maybe there should be I don't know what a Patreon thing is, but maybe there should be a Patreon for Symbiote Elite for the people that, you know, really want to be in there. Like I didn't know I didn't know what it was, and I didn't even know that you were the innovator of it. It's just when I got onto Instagram, it was already a thing, man. It already had a life of its
That's
own.
crazy.
Dude, it's so awesome. Any Venom page I would be on, that's like the top hashtag, Symbiote Sundays and Symbiote Elite. So I started using it too. I didn't know who
Yeah.
it was. I had no idea it was you until I realized it was you. And there's people have stickers, there's prism stickers and different color stickers. Bro, you built it, they came. It is what it is. It's got a life of its own, but you will forever be
Thank
the
you.
Symbiote
And
Elite.
that
Absolutely.
the sticker thing was a like kind of like I almost had it kind of somebody run off with it and like start their own thing with it, and I kind of had to do what I had to do to get it fully under my control. And the sticker thing was like a solidify, like okay, yeah, that's wild to think that when you came around, that was already a thing. And I've used Symbiote Sunday. I don't know who the hell made that up, but I've even used it. So it's really
Yeah.
fascinating. I looked the other day. Somebody said something about it, and I went and looked the other day. That hashtag has been used over 13,000 times, and that's crazy. That's like if you got on right now and just made a hashtag. How many times is that thing be used in the next like? That was probably 4 years. I've probably been on here for almost 6, but around the
Okay.
2-year mark, when everything was going crazy, it was like that community thing came up. So 4 years, 13,000 times.
You,
pretty
my
wild.
friend, you are the center of the Venom collecting sort of community. And I don't mean to put pressure on you. A lot of people recognize you in that way, you know? And Symbiote Elite, it's just, dude, it's an honor. Like, people love it. And people are going to continue to love it. It just is what it is. It is what it is. And I'm excited to keep using the hashtag. I literally still use the hashtag. So I'm going to continue to
I
use
love it. It's still getting used. I see people repping their stickers all the time. I always try to repost it. I got a little story. What are they
Nikki,
called?
I appreciate that. Thank you, my friend.
He does.
He
He's
said
got a smooth voice. He does. Nicky's a good dude. Oh, wait a minute. We just got
He's
a
a
bunch
good
of comments.
Definitely, he's a good dude.
Symbiote Elite for life. Top shelf collector.
Yeah,
My
man.
boy. That's my dude right there. He was there. Once I started doing that, he was there in the beginning.
Nice. I think I know the Top Shelf Gamer. Are we connected on Instagram? Maybe.
He's on Instagram as Top Shelf Collector. You might be.
Yeah, I think so. That name sounds way too familiar. Anyway, yeah.
So,
but Symbiote Elite, man, I'm in there. I got the tattoo. I just didn't show it yet. Look, no.
the next thing to do is to get shirts. If I do a Patreon, which I probably never will, it would be to get shirts made, because that's something I would like.
You just had the printed one, right? It's a Symbiote Elite on the front. I think I used the picture. Old Man Venom on the back. Who did that? What was that? That was the gift for you, I think.
My buddy, yeah, his friend custom made it for me. He got one custom made for himself. He got 2 hoodies custom made, and then my boy Jebby out in Canada, he got a shirt custom made. Everyone that's super close to me has been reaching out, being like, "Hey, can I use this to print on a shirt?" And I'm like, "Yes, do it." And eventually, I would like to be able to make like actual shirts. You know what I mean? Where you can like sell them and people can actually wear them. I think they would actually do good. I know people like the stickers. I know that people like the hashtag. Maybe the shirts will do good. What do you think?
I think there's a possibility that they do fine and that people appreciate them. If I were to have an opinion in it, I would say, like, personally, I think a single color screen print would look awesome. There's a black shirt that says Symbiote Elite as a white hit on the front. Like
yeah,
that's like it's like a symbiote shirt. It's like the spider on the Venom. Like, it's like, anyway.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fantastic.
That will be cool, but I'm also thinking like super crazy, like getting some nice bright colorful designs. Like, I like to have like maybe something on the sleeve here, and then the logo sideways or something. Like, do something different so it actually looks like a shirt.
Yeah, that's crazy. Actually, don't let me just project. Like, that's all I do is just black with white. So I don't.
I do want to do that because legit, it has to be done. It has to be done. You can't do shirts with that. No.
not, and for the super bright ones where you're going to do crazier designs and all these, you're going to digitally print those. It's not like you're going to do a 30 color gradient screen print, right? So those are going to be digitally printed direct to garment. You can knock yourself out, print as many of whatever you want. The screen printed ones, those are going to require like a minimum run. So you want to keep those to 1 or 2 colors. Those will be the simpler ones. But I just love a screen print because it lasts longer. It has a thicker texture to it. And it's just a higher quality. But when you get into those vibrant ones with gradients and really artistically stylized, you got to go digital because you cannot screen those in any cost effective way. You just can't.
Yeah. That's a whole new world I got to get into. Also, Katie did make some mugs. I forgot about that. She made
mugs are dope. I got my
they
coffee makes me poop.
Yeah.
My favorite mug, and I am drinking coffee in it actually, so I might have to go.
Well, don't poop.
Yeah, right.
We're at an hour and 35 right now. I'm cool with going for a full 2 hours if you're cool with it.
Bro, we're gonna get to the 2 hour mark. It's gonna seem like 2 minutes from now.
Yeah, no, we may as well. 4 hours. We've had a decent amount of viewers this whole time, so thank you guys for sticking around. Comments are going crazy, which is cool. Love that.
Much appreciated. Much appreciated. And these are our friends from the community. And yeah, Top Shelf Gamer is Top Shelf Collector, as you were referring to. So we do know each other. Fantastic.
Zygona is Symbiotic Reaper. Nikki Shits is literally Nikki Shits.
Yeah, Nikki Shits is Nikki Shits. Yep. Facts.
The I can never say his YouTube name. Adam333, whatever it is. He's on there. I think it's the same.
Okay.
Eddie's Malt's not on there because he's a grown up.
He's grown up, man. He's
a loser.
He's just humoring us today, just trying to make sure that the little guys get a little love. So we appreciate it, Eddie. Thank you.
He don't know nothing about the song from Jeffrey from Toys R Us. So speaking of Gem Mint 10s, this is a really cool one to have it on because this was like a little pre-packed in like a cellophane, like a little wrapper.
Yep.
So to strike a 10 on that, that's pretty slick. And god damn, this Mark Bagley. Mark Bagley really gave the symbiote suit, just the symbiote in general, he gave it such an incredible look.
Let me, if you wouldn't mind magnifying my screen real quick. This card we're going to talk about, but here's the other Bagley one that recently came into my collection. Like, dude, how do you outdo that? Like, that's, I don't even know, bro. Like, jeez Louise, I love that so much.
I've always been a fan of that card. That whole series, dude. When I first came into this community, a lot of people were talking about Mark Bagley, and I was just like, "You remember the '94 card series you did?" Whoops.
Let's go one more time. Look at this guy. Half symbiote, half standard, Bagley, Spidey. PSA 10, 94 Spidey. Like, whew, you can't.
I'm so
I'm telling you. Oh my god.
Even though the artwork he did on the back of those cards, like once I came back into this community and everyone was talking about Bagley to me all the time, I was like, do you all know that he did the '94 Spider-Man card set? And to think about it, Mark Bagley is probably one of the hardest working artists out of everybody. This dude has done so many comics. He's done so many. He did his whole card series. Still to this day, he's killing it. Yeah, he's killing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this card. I wanted this card in a 10 very badly. I was not able to grade one out. Last year, when I was introduced to this card, it comes in a 5-card promo pack, an Impel 5-card promo pack, and I bought multiples of the promo packs just to have them. Like, even if I couldn't grade out of 10, at least I know I have the cards. It's the center card in the pack, so you can't actually see the condition of it when it's in this clear pack. But my pack that was in the least good condition as a pack, but the card seemed okay, I opened it up and I was looking through them. I was like, man, these are a tough grade because not only does it have a border that clearly will show you if it's not centered well, this PSA has a 60-40. It has to be a 60-40. And that's the leeway that you have. But the edges of this are always chipped. So I said, man, I'm not going to be able to. And I saw a guy on eBay that had a 10 up, and then the 10 sold. And I was a little saddened by it. And then I found the 10, it popped up on Instagram, and I said, oh man, you grabbed it. And then we had an established relationship, just an appreciation of the card. Then Naj was actually looking for her first graded PSA card, and she showed me a picture of this card. I said, man, I love that card so much. I have it ungraded, but the 10 that I was thinking of buying, making an offer on, it sold. And then she sends me a listing. She's like, what are you talking about? It's right here. So that gentleman actually graded a bunch of them, but landed on 3 10s. And the sort of eBay listing he did was where it tells you that there's a quantity, right? Where you can select 1, 2, or 3. So when that first one sold, it did land in my sold section, but I didn't realize that the listing was still active because he still had 2 more. So I shot him a message. I said, bro, I didn't know you had one. Would you accept X for it? And to my surprise, he accepted whatever I offered. And I said, well, since you have another one, are you willing to sell me that one for this price too? He said, nah, no, I'm going to go ahead and get my $400 for the other one. So congratulations, I've sold you one. And I said, thank you. And that's how that came into my collection. It's one of my favorite cards. I do believe it's like only like a pop 4 or pop 5, or maybe it is just a pop 3. It's super hard to grade. It is pretty rare, but you can buy the sealed pack still on eBay for like $7 and just bring it home.
Yep.
Bring it into your collection. It doesn't have to be a PSA 10. It's just a sick card to have.
It is a sick ass card to have. And also the other one, I think it's got a little montage. It's got Venom's head on it or something like
It
that.
does.
I had that one,
Does.
but I don't know where it went. And I still have this one, but god damn, do I love me some Bagley black suit symbiote. All right, so
some Bagley black suit, yeah. Who's
Come on, computer, come on.
I was like, I don't have that book. What is that artwork? I don't have that. So tell me, what is that? Okay.
I will once my computer decides to stop freaking out. Bro, I come on, computer.
This book.
I took this from your page. I was about to say. So this is a book. I didn't know if it was a print or it was a book.
It's a book, man. This is a book. 100 copies are made of this book. It's from a company called Pharaoh's Lounge, and they do naughty books, right? And so there's another iteration of this book that I do not have, but I believe Tinkerbell is not wearing a top in that iteration of the book, right? And the inside of this book, from what I recall, is just a bunch of like, sexy drawings or something. Like, I really don't even remember. But to me, I don't care about any of that. This cover, I had to own this cover. A Venomized Mickey. Tinkerbell's on there looking kind of cool too, but a Venomized Mickey, like, look at this. This is absolutely insane, and it's done super well. It's not like somebody just did it and said, oh, I did a Venomized. It's actually done super well. It's printed in a super high quality. The paper is super high quality. The book itself looks incredible. So when I first saw it, I set out to find it, and I actually found someone on Instagram that had it. Forget his name at the moment. He gave me a great deal, shipped it to me, and that's it. There's only 100 copies. I don't have a graded 9.8. This is the only one I have. I've had countless offers of people that want to buy it, but I don't have any reason to sell it because I love it. Like, I don't have any reason to grade it. I don't care. I just love owning this thing. It's so incredible. Man, it's just sick. It's just super sick.
So I'm going to go on an absolute rant about this.
Yeah, okay.
First off, what did you say it was, a naughty book?
It's a naughty
book. I didn't realize it was one of them, and it's another book just like the Venomized Pooh and all that. It's just something that I have no interest in. But the cover artist of this, I have a hard time pronouncing his name, Varese.
You told me he inspired you to start drawing again.
Bro, single-handedly got me to start drawing again because I've been messing with it and dabbling with it, and I don't know. I just got on Instagram one day and I started scrolling around looking for like just artwork, and one thing led to another, of course, with me, and it turned into Venom. And I'm just looking at random Venom drawings, and I came across this dude's profile, and I was just blown away. So I'm gonna go ahead and show this off. I'm really sorry I can't fully pronounce his name right. Varese. He's on Instagram. Just look at this, man.
Let's see it.
The way he cross hatches. Can you see this picture?
Yeah. Dude, I thought this is your drawing. You didn't draw this?
No.
Bro, this looks like
that's
your
very kind
work.
of you, but no. It's because this freaking dude inspired me. Now, I'm not saying I'm ripping his style off. I've been drawing my whole life, but I
Yeah,
stopped for
yeah, yeah, yeah.
years and years and years and years, and then seeing his drawing, the way he was making these comic book characters look, it didn't look cartoony. It just looked almost like tattooish. Like I don't know how to explain
Yeah.
it. Like his cross hatching, like the blacks on there. If you really look at this, it's incredible. I actually did a Carnage Harley Quinn that looks a lot like this, but somebody would have to fact check that. I don't know who that did that first. I just wanted to bring that up because that's freaking awesome that uh we basically did the
Wait,
same
this
type of
is
drawing.
amazing. I've never seen that Venomized Harley Quinn. I think
Dude,
that's incredible looking.
look
Like
at
I
his
fell in love with that
anti-venom.
instantly. Dude, this is the sickest anti-venom I've ever seen.
He's a freaking madman, and he's moved on to all these perverted books, which sucks. But it's like, my God, dude, you could be. Imagine if we got a few Venom covers from this cat.
He's not
The way he
doing like
fades.
official licensed covers.
No, he's doing like all these like zombie girl crap, blah blah blah. I mean, the man's
Oh,
doing his thing. I'm not trying to bash on him, but I mean, he could be doing some insane shit, and he kind of broke the internet with this one right here. The whole
dude, that's
Venomized
sick.
nuts.
Oh,
The
I
way he
love
colored
how
it, yeah.
he
I
he
mean,
uh he kills it. I love his take to Venomized. I love his take to like the distressed stuff, and it still remains polished at the same time. He does a really great job. I never looked at more of his work. I never did. This is good stuff.
I'm glad we're having this moment. He
Oh, look at
also,
that thing.
some exclusive company years later hired a guy to do a variant cover. It's literally a ripoff of this.
Dude,
Right here, you
how
see the date.
incredible is this?
It's grim. I think we're
Does
losing
he do
connection for
sketch
a little bit.
cards?
I don't know. I'm
Okay,
not sure.
okay.
He posts a lot of stuff like this, and he never posts like the finished product. But this screen right here looks like some serious fire. I would love to see
Yep.
this thing finished. He's got a lot of drawings that are just in this style, and it's like he never goes back and posts a finished picture. This is
Bro,
dope.
Spidey tugging at Venom's tongue? How come I've
Yeah.
never seen that done before? How incredible is this? And look where Stan Lee signed this thing. It's almost like it was drawn around. This must have been drawn around the signature. No,
I think
no,
it
it wasn't.
was. It was drawn
Okay,
around the
okay,
signature.
okay.
He's
Incredible.
nice with it. There's a Ramos signature up above. So the red signature you're seeing up there, that's Ramos, and then Stan Lee.
Bro, this is
I mean,
sick. Even the
look at
way
the
he did
blue
Spidey's
highlights.
crazy. The blue highlights are killing. The way his line, just the shapes in general. I love the structured dynamic of Spidey. I love the silhouette for his face. I love how the jaw area is going into the chin. This guy kills it. I like what he's doing with Venom's head here. Like, this is awesome.
He's an absolute murderer. Oh, I guess that's it.
Okay,
We already
that was
touched
fun.
on this. This is from the new series in typical fashion. Here you guys can see the Paulo Siqueira Venom issue 10 variant, where it's revealed that Bedlam is also Eddie Brock.
Oh,
Just to
okay.
just to drop a little something, just this. Either we're dealing with variants of Eddie Brock or the main villain of this storyline, since Eddie is the King in Black and he can control any symbiote anywhere. I think this guy trapped him in that symbiote shit and can control him. Like it's a total mind fuck, man. Total mind fuck. But
All
I
right.
think that's what's going on. I think that's what's going on.
Is this a
So
legacy? What run is that though? Like what
that's the new one.
ish?
It's written by
Okay.
it says it on there, but it's too small for me to see. But it's the new run. This is the upcoming issue, so this is like the preview for the variant cover, which I kind of like it.
Got you. Got you.
I
Got you.
kind of like. So this, let me bring this up again real quick, because Gotta shout you guys out. There we are. Also, what's up, Mike? Thanks for coming by.
Mike, what's
Lame
going
ass.
on?
I gotta scroll up and get that comment. There you go. Let's take that out. So, the Marvel show, you and Spidey hits on YouTube. Been
Yeah.
watching you guys a lot lately, man. Ever since you talked about me the other day, I've been going through like watching everything you guys have been doing lately, and I'm loving the show. And I see why you're ready to go forever because you guys do 4-hour videos. I would love to be able to do that. I've already had people like giving me shit. I would watch it as 2 hours long, so it's like maybe in time I would love to be able to do 4-hour episodes. Just have a whole gang of people on here.
It
Anyway,
just flows, man. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, you got a
the
banner running at the bottom.
reason,
Thank you. That's dope.
yeah, man, everybody go check this out. The channel. The video of him walking around that dude Mike's house with the trading cards. All collectors that are men should thank him for that. Because whenever our wives get crazy about our collecting, you go, "Hold up, baby," and you show them that video, and everything seems so much better. It ain't that bad. Yeah, that's right, baby. Dude, what
Man.
a awesome video that was. I was flabbergasted watching that. Like, there's just more and more cars. They just keep coming. I think he pulled some out from under the sink at one point.
He did. He did. That's what, like, it's so ridiculous. Like, where we would have our knives and forks in the kitchen, he's got sealed product. You know, he's got his spice pantry, and then he's got, like, every Walmart sealed box of 90s Fleer Ultra product in the next cabinet.
Dude,
It's absolutely insane. Yo, whew. And
I
I
don't
didn't
know
know
how
Jeb was from Canada.
fine.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's my Canadian symbiote.
Damn, I didn't know he was in Canada. Oh, snap. All right. All right.
But
Yeah.
couple topics that you guys have been talking about that I keep finding fascinating. And this one just, as it says right here, I find it interesting. So,
Okay.
is this really legit? Or is this like an ongoing joke? Do you not watch movies?
No, I really don't. I really don't.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I really don't. Okay.
I'm like that with TV. I don't really watch TV. I don't get into that stuff. I watch a little bit of football here and there, maybe some baseball, but I don't really get into it. The Marvel movies, for whatever reason, I like it, and I am a fan of the movies. Have you ever seen The Crow? Please say yes.
I did. I have. I've absolutely seen The Crow, but it's such a long time ago that it's not like I could quote anything from it. But what's most amazing to me, not amazing because rest in peace, is tragic. But, you know, the way I remember The Crow is not so much for the movie, but for what happened to the actor during the production of the movie.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I recall.
Dude, they went after all the leads. It's really sad. Let's get out of the dark area and let's get into slightly humorous area.
Yeah.
So you've never seen the Venom movies?
No, because, and I'll tell you why.
I envy you.
Because
I envy you. Okay.
That's why. Good. I'm glad you said that. And I don't want to meet my hero because this Venom on the screen, this is not my Venom.
That's the best way to put it. I didn't want to meet my hero either. I didn't even ask for this movie. It just came out of fucking nowhere.
Oh.
It's so bad. So bad.
I think I did watch the first one, actually. I did watch the first Venom movie, and that's what solidified that they don't have a clue what they're doing. And I don't know who they're consulting with when they're designing. When did Venom have all of this white, weird stuff all over him? Like, what is this?
I get it, but for some reason, like, you can't just put the spider on it. Oh, well, he's not connected to Spider-Man. Well, I'm going to quote my buddy Kevin. He was talking about this with the Morbius movie, and he said this exact quote, and this is what I thought when they announced the Venom movie. And the quote goes, "Where the fuck is Spider-Man? Where is he?" So, with that being said, they just wanted their own fucking thing with this movie. They didn't do the emblem because of whatever reasons. I don't even know why they made this movie, to tell you the truth. They cashed
Wait,
in.
he doesn't have an emblem on him? He doesn't have the symbiote Spidey emblem on his chest?
No, that's what all this white shit is. It's just to make up for it. And
they got to get out of here with that,
bro. It's hot doo-doo garbage.
And that was
a lot of people like it.
Hurts me. Yeah, a lot of people like it, but a lot of people like anything. You know, they're just like, "Oh, I got a new movie. I'm so excited." No,
dude, I was telling my about this. I took my girl and my best friend, and I think his girl, to go see an early screening of this movie, and I was mortified the entire time. I had to explain to them, like, guys, that's not what this is. Please, let me flip through. I gotta find somewhere where he's like eating somebody. Like, I gotta show you this. This is not. Granted, Venom eats people in the movie, but this is not what I'm into. It was, as a long-time Venom collector, it was embarrassing to have that be the representation. It was absolutely embarrassing. So,
Yep.
if you haven't seen the second one, just don't see it, man. You're just going to lose respect for Carnage, and I think a lot of people did. As a matter of fact,
God, he's in
first appearance of Carnage heated up for a little bit when they announced it, and after the movie dropped, so did the price of that book.
Oh yeah, it went to $2,000 for a 9.8 newsstand, and now you can buy a 9.8 newsstand for $800, and you can buy a direct for $500 right now, and that went to about $1,300.
Yep, and I also want to point out, out of all the years of collecting, I have noticed it regularly does this, where books will heat up, and then they'll cool down, and then they'll heat up even more, and then they'll cool down. So that's just kind of the ebb and flow of like collecting. So
that's the ebb and flow of a market, of a liquid market that has buyers and product coming to it, and something inciting the enthusiasm. Right? That's market movement for sure.
True. With that being said, I feel like now's a good time, because I have noticed a lot of prices have dropped on a lot of these books. If you're really trying to gun for these books, you're really hunting these ones, might be worth your while to take a peek around. Put on your FBI
agree with you.
investigation.
I agree with you. Yeah, and I even remember when Venom showed up in one of the Spider-Man movies, and I was like, I've conveniently forgotten it, because I remember thinking that's not my Venom either. Like, that sucked as well, you know?
It did, but he's involved with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He worked at the Daily Bugle as a photographer, and he has a freaking emblem. Case closed. The guy from that '70s show. Yeah, he would have been a better Peter Parker.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, how'd they make him Eddie Brock? Like, oh, little
Eric Foreman. Like, what is this?
I'm gonna tie in some weird stuff. You gotta be aware of this already, but maybe some folks aren't. But this is tying in some Maximum Carnage stuff with some card stuff. So this was the cassette from Green Jelly for Maximum Carnage. Right? It's sealed. This is the nicest condition one I ever found, so I kept it for myself. It's got the Acclaim thing, but that's a pack of cards on the back.
That's a dude,
pack of cards.
That is all. I didn't know it was actually in the cassette. They're so hard to find.
It's sealed with it. Yeah, it's sealed with it. That's how they were distributed, and that's why I mean, they're like these weird pixelated images from the video game, but it's still so dope to have it. I love that thing.
That is a badass collector's item. Straight up. That's awesome, though, dude. I've wanted them cards so bad, but they are not cheap when they come up, and they rarely come up.
Yeah, and I think the cassettes sell for between like 50 and 150, just depending on condition and who's in the market at that particular time. I don't remember what I paid for this one, and usually I have what I pay on the package, but apparently I wasn't doing that when I bought this one, so I don't remember.
Maybe back in the day. Dude, I just got in one of my most favorite Venom cards ever. You ready for this shit?
Yes. You
see it?
No, not yet. I don't. I still don't see it. Okay, you froze a little bit, so I'm waiting. Okay, I see the back of it. All right, I know the card. That's the hologram. Did you buy an error hologram?
Yep.
What?
It was made with no hologram on the front. It's just blank white.
How much you want for it?
I'll send you a link. The guy has more, and I'm about to snatch up a couple because I'm going to treat them as fucking sketch cards.
Brother, please do send me the link, and I'll just want to grab one from whomever that person is.
I'll definitely do that. Dude, speaking of cards,
yeah, let's get into a little card sharing. I want to show some too. This is good. We could wrap up the episode with a little bit of card sharing.
Yeah, so These finally showed up. I ordered these a month
Yeah.
ago, and I ordered them for one specific reason. But dude, can we just talk about this box for a second? It's all
Let's
like
do it.
hollow foil. I keep seeing my screen freezing too. Hopefully my thing doesn't freeze. But the whole box is
It's
like
a
a hollow
little
foil.
choppy, but it's coming back. Yeah.
So check this out. This is freaking cool. When you
Whoa.
open the box, it's like this hollow
Pop
foil,
out.
like 3D pop out play. That's got to be one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Yep.
The box itself is just freaking awesome. Let me just hold it back up again.
Yeah, I love that. That's dope.
Definitely going to hold on to that. If you got something you just want to show, go for it, man. I'm gonna
Oh,
open
I
these
just
packs
wanted
real
to
quick.
go over some of our favorite cards real quick. So like 94 Fleer, 94 Fleer Ultra is like one of my favorite sets, 94 Fleer. And I know you love this card. We love this card, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Right. And so that's dope. And then obviously, I think you and I might have spoken about this before, but this is the Venom, the Lethal Protector Venom from the 94 Flair. But there was also a Pepsi set, like this
Yeah.
other set, and this is the only 10 for the Pepsi one. And you've seen these, I've shown you this before, but this is still a pop one. No one has graded another 10 in this card.
Oh,
This is the
wow.
actual the Mexico Pepsi. So like one of the differences, I'm going to remove something real quick. On the back, you see it says Pepsi cards.
That's
And
freaking
so,
awesome. In a
yeah,
10?
it's in a
Wow.
10, dude. The box for these is a couple $1,000 now, and these come out of the box screwed up. And if you ever find these in the wild,
Yeah.
they were
They're
not
jacked.
treated the way cards here were treated, like they weren't. And so awesome card.
Dude,
Just
right
wanted to
away.
show that real quick.
I'm not really getting it. There it is. These cards are very nice.
They're super high quality, aren't they?
Hopefully you guys can
Dude,
see it.
that
They're
has,
nice and it's like a prism.
yeah, but it also has this like it also has this three-dimensional quality where like it feels almost like Spidey is above all of that, as if it was kind of, is it
Yeah.
holographic in some sense?
It's like a hologram mixed with a foil mixed with like a base card. Like the lizard's normal and the background's all hollow. And I have no idea if I'm pulling rares or not.
Right? I don't know about those yet either. Yeah.
I'm assuming the whole set's like this. Oh, we got a con card, but I already have this.
Oh,
What is
that's
that?
sick though.
Okay, there's two of them back to back. What the hell?
Two of the same exact cards out of one pack?
Yeah, back to back.
That's got to be unusual. I
That's
recently,
weird.
oh shoot, I wanted to show you this because we were talking about, no, I actually don't remember why I wanted to show you this. We were talking about something, but what the heck were we talking about? I don't remember, but this is from the Marvel Ages set, and that's the
Yeah, dude.
McFarlane Spidey, and this is a pop one right now. There's only one of these in the 10 as well. Oh, here's what I wanted to mention. I actually bought this from the Marvel Cribs guy, from Michael, that has the crazy
Oh
house
yeah.
with all the Marvel cards. This is one of the few PSA cards he ever has because he's the Beckett guy.
Yeah, and I love Beckett's cases, man.
They're like substantial, so that's pretty cool. And then I grabbed this Carnage card recently. This is from the Canvas set back in the day, and it's just one of the greatest Carnage visuals to me. Like that Carnage
Yep.
face.
Nelson.
Oh,
That was
man.
like the Delato before the Delato. Speaking of
Yeah.
Delato, this is my cool Spider-Man Delato card. I wish my other
That just
camera
came
would
out of
go.
that? That's
Yep.
sick. Dude, I'm loving the quality of these cards. I really enjoy
They're
how it has a
they're
little bit
beautiful.
of everything going on. Yeah.
A
Oh yeah, that
Scon
artwork is crazy.
361 homage or whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
sad that I oh, okay, this is the same exact card, but it's got a completely different. What the hell? I guess the other one. Let's see if you can tell. You see the different prism effects?
Oh, it looks like one's more of a crushed ice, and then one has it. I do see the different effects, but I also see a different color. Like, is Venom more blue on one? No, no. I think it's just
Not
how the prism was hitting.
Yeah. I mean, I'll have to sit down and go through these and dig them all out. Anybody that might be looking for Spider-Man cards or anything like that, hit me up, man. We can do some trades. I got a whole freaking box of these to go through. That is awesome. I still don't have the Pez for that.
Dude, you
That
gotta have a Pez dispenser. You gotta grab one of these. They're still in the stores. I think they're like $3. You gotta have one. It's got the
I've been
McFarlane
looking
Venom
for 'em.
face.
Yeah, which is freaking awesome. I've been looking for them everywhere, but I just cannot find them. But
Oh
since you
shit!
broke
All
that
right.
out, I gotta show this little thing. This
Let's
thing
see
from
it.
Japan. This is like the only Venom collectible I have from Japan. It's one of them wind-up walkers.
Dude, what?
Yeah.
I need that.
As soon
I
as I
need
saw,
that in
as
a
soon as I
big
saw that
way.
image, this thing's awesome, dude.
Did you
Came
find
from
that on
Japan.
eBay?
Yeah, like 2016, 2015 era.
Oh shoot! All right. Well, I'm looking for one right now, and I'm typing in Venom Wind Up Walker.
Let's see if it says
And I
anything
want to
else.
see. Damn it! There's
Mm.
none. All right. One day. One day.
All I know is it comes from Japan, so I don't know if.
That's sick.
But dude,
I'll grab one, man. That was absolutely awesome.
I'll definitely send you a link for one of those blank
The
cards.
Please.
I
That's
want
kind
to
of.
put it out there right now.
And definitely grab a few for yourself. You already said you're going to, so I know you're going to. Wait, what happened? Did we just say goodbye?
We're about to. Hold on, we can keep going. Get this out of here. Get this out of here. I'm sorry. We're at 2:06. So I'm so used to 2 hours.
I think this was a great show, and a great time just hanging out. So we'll continue whenever we continue, man. We're not gonna run out of things to talk about.
Oh no, I'm sure we could keep going for another 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
Ag, before we do jump, is there anything that you wanted to touch on? Anything that you got any exciting stuff coming up? Is there anything you're currently hunting?
That's such a great question, because people ask me that question and I always get tongue-tied, because it's not even though it's such a simple answer, it's kind of a convoluted answer. I am always hunting the same exact stuff. I really don't hunt anything new, so there's nothing new on my hunting plate. There's no new anything that's new is not a hunt. It's just a go and buy. Hunts are for the stuff that we can't go and buy, and I'm always like, and I say that loosely, because not everything new is a go and buy. Some things new you can't find, but generally speaking, if there's a new cover out that you want, you're going to get it. But so I'm always hunting the same older stuff. Like, for instance, there's a desk over here to this side that obviously is not in the camera, and there's a desk in the other room. And today and yesterday, it got filled up with new things that have come in. Part of those new things I'm going to sell, actually, if they're not in the grade that I desire, or if I just want to have fun. But after we get off of this call, I'm going to be going through some 316 Mark Jewelers raw, and I'm super excited that some of those have come in. I have some new ASM 300 newsstands, high grade, so I'm going to be excited about going through those. And what's fun about those books is obviously there's a huge desire for those books, especially the rarest forms of them. But I want to have fun and do raffles and stuff, And so I think I'm gonna organize some things for some raffles either this weekend or this coming week. And then I'm going to show this now. I think I was going to post this tomorrow, but I finally added this to the collection in a 9.8. The not a symbiote book, of course,
nice.
but
Is that
Rogue, the first
right?
appearance of Rogue. Yeah, that little silhouette right there is Rogue. And I think this book is awesome in a 9.8. A lot of people think it's an ugly cover. Understandably, it's a wacky cover, but I think it's a beautiful cover. And with the blue label, it looks really great. So I'm probably going to take a few pictures of this tonight, because this might be my Saturday or Sunday post. But in my stories, I'm going to be doing some raffling. So my hunts, I'm always hunting the same exact stuff, just more of it, and hopefully higher grades. Like 316 Mark Jewelers, newsstand 300s. One day I would like to grade a newsstand 300 9.8, because I'm not going to go buy it. It's $20,000 for a 9.8 newsstand of that book. So I hope to one day be lucky enough to grade one of those books, because that's the only way I'm going to have a 9.8 newsstand of a 300, because 20 grand is just a lot of money, you know. So stuff
It
like
is,
that.
but I'm glad to see it reaching them prices. I feel like
I'm
300
very
is
happy
next
to see
to
it.
181.
Yes. Yes.
I
I
just
mean,
pulled this from a pack. Oh, I guess this is rare. It's like a gold foil Rhino, and
who
it's
is it?
got the
Oh,
it's
it's Rhino.
Rhino. I'm sorry
Nice.
if my camera's all blurring out.
No, it's all good. Are these how thick are these cards? These look like,
They're standard.
oh, okay, they are standard. Okay. The quality is
Yeah,
legit on them though, I can tell. So anyway, yeah,
yeah,
man, I
they're
don't have much to add. It's just going to be more of the same for me. I want to talk to you more about cards and things. I want to, you know, continue to have people discover Marvel cards if they hadn't yet. And I think that, you know, these
Mhm.
sorts of conversations and everything that you show to the community and to your friends, I think it inspires a lot of folks. And I think there are a lot of people that haven't realized that they love Marvel cards yet. So I want to keep spreading that. Oh, and
Yep.
always more Wizard ones. Always hunting more Wizard ones.
Yeah, I saw
And so
that.
I think I'm gonna sell. I'm actually gonna sell a set next week, I think. And what's interesting about what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sell an SDCC version, a newsstand version, and a direct edition, all high grade, all together. And I'm gonna sell it for an expensive price only because, well, right now you can't get an SDC or newsstand version anywhere, and they sell for between 300 and 700 by themselves. So I'm gonna do a set of all three for someone that wants to knock them all out at once. I'll decide my price and I'll pull from my box which ones I want to pull. But I'm actually excited about doing that. See, the thing is, I don't just sell because of money. I sell because I love selling. Like, it's fun for me. It's fun for me to find the buyer that appreciates what it is. I take a great deal of pride in packaging up really carefully. I love when someone receives something and says thank you so much.
Mhm.
Like, not to like Paul said earlier today. Paul said I received the package. Thank you so much. But I want to let you know, Paul, I got to thank Paul because what happened with that is I had two Amazing Spider-Man 361s up for sale as a lot. One was a direct, one was a newsstand. This is just a couple days ago. And somebody messaged me asking me if I would split the lot. Isn't Wizard 9 that badass Venom cover? Eddie's mullet? Yes, it is. And it's one of my I have a 9.8 here. I have two 9.8s of a CGC
Do
here,
you?
and they're the only two 9.8s on the census. I own them both. Oh no, I'm sorry. There are three on the census. I own two. I don't know where the other one is. And I also owned the only. Oh yeah, that's the artist from the new Lethal Protector, right?
No, this is Gerardo Sandoval.
Okay. Oh,
I
I know.
forget,
I love him. I love his work. I love his work.
I forget the
And
name of the
so,
new artist.
and
But
the
but you
the
have
only Wizard
two
9.
of the three.
I have two of the three Wizard 9 9.8s. I have something else related to that that I haven't shown yet. That's crazy rare. And I'm going to show it eventually. I just haven't yet. Like sometimes I get overwhelmed, right? I'm like, how am I supposed to present this to the world? And there's one item that I haven't presented yet, and I'm going to figure out the right way to do it. But I also was the owner of the only CBCS 9.8 of the Wizard 9 as well. And I sold that one. I didn't grade that one, I purchased it. And I sold that. Actually, all three of the 9.8s that I own of that book were purchased, not graded. But I do have it ungraded. I am after a newsstand of a Wizard 9. I still don't have a high grade newsstand, so I'm after that. Um,
I didn't even
yeah,
realize that Wizards had newsstands.
yeah, they do. It's pretty sick. Like for the Wizard 1, the newsstand and the SDCC variant are extremely rare. I actually know the production count of the SDCC, and I can only speculate the production count. Save some juice for Tuesday, Manu. Oh, Spidey Hits is in the building. That's Justin. What's
Oh,
up?
snap. What's up?
Hey, now we have to go another 2 hours. I'm just joking. I always
All
do
right,
this. I
bring 'em
drag
on, man.
everything into
Bring 'em on.
everyone's evening.
Here, real quick. Let's see. Where's my
He knows
camera at?
all
Do you
about
know
these
any,
cards.
if you know
Yep.
about these cards? What exactly is this? What is my computer doing? There we go. It's got like
Justin's
the
gonna have an answer
Marvel.
for you.
It's got the Marvel thing and all the hologram background. I feel like every time I see one with that Marvel thing, it's like the more rare. I'm not sure.
He knows though, but Justin knows. Justin's ripped a few of those boxes, I'm pretty sure. And I just think
Yeah,
they're pretty to
I
look
see. I'm
at, but I
watching.
don't know anything about them.
Yeah, they're beautiful, and I'm right there with you. I have no idea anything about them except for the Maximum Venom cards, which I've yet to hit one.
Oh,
I still got
Justin
them.
missed he missed the cards in this set. He doesn't know about these. He didn't see he might know about them, but I think he might have missed that part of this.
And
Justin, you
flash
know
it.
what
Do you know
else?
about these?
I'll show him right now. I'll show him right now. Justin, this is for you. And also, Justin may have missed that CGC graded one, but in any case, check it out, Justin. So this is the cassette for Maximum Carnage. You know the book, we've talked about it. This is a cassette tape that came out, obviously with music from Green Jelly, Acclaim. But on the back, sealed in it, is a pack of these cards with this 8-bit artwork from the video game, and you can see them sealed into that pack. And I don't know, maybe you are aware of these cards, maybe you're not, but this is Marvel cards, Spidey related,
Oh shit!
right here and here. That's it.
Oh shit!
Oh, he said, "Ooh, I missed
They
that,
missed
Manu."
it.
Well, we got it back for you, my friend. All you got to do is show up, and we'll do everything twice.
I'm getting a couple of these cards with the other little design on it.
Oh, Spidey, I'll send you a link for sure. We'll definitely make sure you get that in your collection. So we'll definitely make that happen.
Hell yeah! I just want the Venom and the Carnage from that, but like I said, god damn, are they tough to find?
Yeah, man.
That's great. That's great.
Well,
Let's see.
how do
Open
you
up
feel,
2
man?
more packs. I feel
You're
like
enjoying it over there. I haven't ripped a
I'm
pack in such a
sweating.
long time. Hey, what are you?
It's been a minute.
Where are you gonna be buying the new stuff like the
Spider-Man
20?
Metal.
Yeah.
I'm trying really hard to. I'm gonna be mainly hunting Venom, but oh, that's gonna be a battle. Ooh, speaking of Venom, there we go.
Let's see it.
Go ahead. Awesome, 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 awesome. Doctor Strange Venomized, and it's one of the
Oh, nice.
that stuff in the background says Marvel. It's like the Marvel logo over and over. The
Oh, I
back of
like
them
that. That's pretty cool.
only these ones have that. Hell yeah, boys! That is what I was hoping to hit. If I can get
That
another
is
one or
really
two out of
sick.
this box, I will jizz in my pants live. That's it. There you go. That's
I
it,
love
ladies
it,
and
man.
gentlemen. God bless it. That's all I
I
was
love
really
it.
hoping to get out of here. Let me go ahead and sit this off to the side. Oh, also, I think I talked to Justin about this already.
Oh,
The
well,
flash out.
if you haven't, yeah, it's really good that Justin's seeing this. Justin, this is what you were mentioning to me earlier. You were like, you can encapsulate within CGC cases the TCG cards, but I had never seen one. Old Man Venom showed me today for the first time.
Well, I'm thinking, let's see, let's do a little mock up here. I'm trying to be so gentle with picking this thing up. There you go.
Let's see
I
what we're
think
doing
that
here.
would look pretty good.
I think that gets the job done indeed.
Yeah. I just like the way their cases look. Damn, I'm happy I got that card. I don't know how many are supposed to be in the box or anything like that. There's a lot of Del Otto Spider-Man working here.
Eddie's Mullet said, I thought all Wizards were newsstands. Not all of them. There are directs and newsstands, and you can identify them with the barcode, of course. The directs don't have one, and the others do. Oh, he was also enthusiastic about the Mark Jewelers. Man, I'm with you. Mark Jewelers are, the most rare way to hunt some of our favorite books. So if you could make something more rare, then I'm going to hunt a bit harder for it. I love that kind of thing.
So, the Mark Jewelers. Is there a way
Yeah.
to identify that without opening the book? Or do you have to literally...
No,
There is?
there are actually 2 ways, and I don't want you to be mad at me, my friend. I'm not going to tell the second way because then I'm going to lose my edge, and I really don't want to lose my edge. Not right now. I'm still working on a sort of larger project. I have successfully graded a 9.8 Mark Jewelers 316, but it was off-white to white pages. And it's still a grail, but I want a white pager. And so I'm not going to reveal one of my tricks until I'm done with my objective. And I know that's selfish and I apologize, but the simplest way to, oh, that's sick. I love it. One of the ways to identify a Mark Jewelers without opening the book is if you know, you don't have to know what color advertisement you're looking for because the advertisements are full page advertisements and they're on colored pieces of paper. Sometimes they're red orange, yellow.
Mhm.
There's even black ones, purple ones. But when you're first of all Mark Jewelers are newsstand copies. So if it doesn't have a barcode on it, you can already eliminate it. It's not going to be a Mark Jewelers. Mark Jewelers were only distributed as newsstand distribution on military bases. There are no direct editions with I'll talk to you soon, Spidey. Be well. Thank you for coming in. And so there's no such thing as a direct Mark Jewelers. Every now and then you'll see an ad where it'll be a direct edition on eBay and it'll say Mark Jewelers. It's not because the seller's lying. It's because the seller probably just copy pasted the highest sold listing and didn't realize it was highest sold because that listing was an actual Mark Jewelers, right? And so the first thing to identify is it a newsstand? Now, if you have the ability to flip through the book, obviously you're going to go to the center of the book and see if there's a jewelry ad there. But if you don't have the ability or you don't want to spend the time, but you're flipping through a short box, you could look at the top of the book and you can actually see that strip of color in the center. I did a post on my story 2 days ago with a 316, with two 316 stacked, and I said one's not like the other. Well, one had the Mark Jewelers red strip and one didn't. So if you're looking top down, or you get to look at the bottom of a book for any reason, you can see the strip of color, which is the thicker paper in the center of the book, which is a full-page jewelry ad, a 2-page full-page jewelry ad. That's how you would identify Mark Jewelers without opening it. Now, like I said, and I'm just being honest, there is another way, but I can't at the moment share that because
Yep. Don't share it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and I only just realized that's the way, and it is the way. There is another way, and yeah, I'm gonna milk that one for a while.
Milk that bad boy dry.
Eddie's Mullet said a lot of Mark Jewelers have a star stamp on the cover. Brother, I didn't even know that until the Rivera Collector on Instagram. The Rivera Collector, he's amazing. He put me up on game. I had some Mark Jewelers up there. I sold like 4 or 5 Mark Jewelers raw the other day. And he messaged me. He said, do they all have the star stamp? He said, do you prefer the star stamp or non-star stamp? And I'm not afraid to say when I don't know something, because that's how you become more intelligent. Not by acting like you know things, by saying, I don't know, so that someone can educate you. So I was like, I think I'm about to get an education because I don't know what you're talking about, And and he put me up on game. He said most of the Mark Jewelers were stamped with a small star somewhere on the cover. And I just had no idea. So yes, Eddie, you're right. I'm calling you Eddie. I know that, but you know what I mean? So if you're looking, if you get the chance to look at the front of any newsstand comic book, and it has a little blue star stamped on it, tiny little star, and it could be on the back as well, then yeah, that's probably an identifier that it has the insert in it, the Mark Jewelers insert. So they're always newsstands.
I was gonna say I got a 361 newsstand. I'm about to break that out and look for that little star.
Hey, yeah, I've never had a Mark Jewelers in a 361. I don't even know if they make one. But if you have one, please show me.
316. I'm sorry.
316. And another interesting fact is there are Mark Jewelers of almost like all of our favorite books, but there are no Mark Jewelers of an Amazing Spider-Man 300. An ASM 300 does not have a Mark Jewelers there at all. There is not one. CGC claims they've never graded and seen one, and every collector I've ever spoken to has never seen an ASM 300 Mark Jewelers. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm convinced that it doesn't exist, but if it pops up, that's going to be like if a 9.8, it's just going to be a crazy book, but I just don't think it exists. Like somebody would have seen, there's 23,000 graded ASM 300s on the census. We would have seen, yeah, like that's how I feel about that.
No, I feel like I heard that somewhere. It may have been from you, but yeah, apparently they don't have one. So
yeah,
this card
they don't.
is a lot of the same card over and over again, and every once in a while I get a different parallel. Or it's weird.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get into that set. Like I might just buy a couple of the singles that I think are great, but I don't think I'm ever gonna rip one of those packs.
I'm thinking I might try and trade some of these.
Yeah, that'd be. I have a pre-order in for Marvel Spidey Metal, but they keep delaying this
Oh,
release. Yeah,
yeah. I'm
it.
hearing October now.
Yeah, dude, what the heck? Like, I
Well,
literally.
oh, if I can, I didn't cut you
Yeah,
off.
no.
Two things that make me excited about that. Number one, give me more time to save up a little bit because if these blaster boxes hit the shelves, the area I live in, no one really cares about that. So I'm planning on going after them hard.
Oh,
Number
dope. Okay.
two, I may as well go ahead and break the news, I
Okay.
suppose. I got signed back to Upper Deck, so I'm back on Marvel sketch cards. Thank God.
Wait, wait, what? Congratulations. But hold on, no, no. You can't just glaze over that. I didn't even what is
Oh, I'm
you just
amazing. I can't say what it is, but um, all I can say is if they're pushing Marvel Metal Spider-Man back by a few months, I'm hoping there's a slight chance that I could be added on.
bro, I hope so too. That's incredible. So yeah, Deadpool Deeds, what's up?
That's wishful thinking.
No, well, congratulations in advance. And I want to say that as positive reinforcement for the universe. I hope that works out, my friend. I had no idea that was something that was in the works. That's incredible. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to hearing some more about that.
I got brought on in 2017, and I did a set. Yeah, I got another hit, but it's one I already have. God damn. So now I
A
got
lot of duplicates coming out, huh?
yeah, I got another Ironheart. So I'll
Oh,
either
it's a
put the
clean.
20.
It's super
Up,
nice, and we were just looking at that one earlier today. Yeah.
and so now I got two of them.
Who said they
If I
got a
get at
sealed
least
box of Overpower? Eddie said he got a
that's
sealed.
the A collector.
That's crazy. I haven't seen a sealed box of Overpower in so long. You think Overpower is gonna have his time? You think nostalgia is gonna pick up Overpower and just let it run?
I just recently went through and grabbed all the Venom and Carnage ones, and I posted it on the Facebook group, and people seemed like they were into it. Like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I could see him.
Do you
That.
have do you have this one? The McFarlane Wizard Spidey Overpower card?
No.
You gotta grab one, bro. Gotta grab one. That artwork is on one of those cards, and even mine is like crappy. I think there was a promo as well as a set one. Anyway, we'll get those. It's not gonna go crazy. I'm waiting for someone to grade a PSA 10, and then I'll just pay them whatever they're asking for it. It shouldn't be too expensive because there's no overpower 10s that have brought in a great deal of money yet. Oh, what's that?
I think this is a card you need a promotional card.
Dude,
The bag is just
I
black.
so that's from the McFarlane sticker set, right?
It's from the
No,
card
not this.
series. Not
Okay,
from
yeah, I need
'89.
that.
This is 1990. Yes, you do.
I need that. I'm gonna take a screenshot real quick, just so I can have that for my records. Got it, my man. Here we go.
That screams you. You were sitting there talking about that earlier. I'm like, I thought about it. I
Yeah,
forgot about
and the other thing is, I like the McFarlane scroll to me is like a character. I love this McFarlane scroll the same way I love certain characters.
it. Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
do
his
like it.
signature. Yeah, I mean that's I started copying that back when I was a kid. I would write like on homework assignments. I would write my name in the scroll just because McFarlane would do it.
Yeah,
Big fan.
I used to do it too. All right. Well, I mean, I got a couple hits out of this box here. Hopefully, I can maybe
Like it.
trade that card or something. Um,
I like it. I
these
like it.
as a stack here. These are all different type of variants and whatnot. Maybe I can turn them into
Just
symbiote
because you
cards.
have one too, man. I had to.
Yes, mine's up in my case there.
Isn't that awesome that we still have our childhood figure? Like that's
You
so sick,
you
dude.
posted that and it got me right in my feelings. Like, dude, that was I carried that thing everywhere, everywhere.
It man, it's like the build quality of this for back in the day and the details that went into its sculpt
Incredible.
were so far advanced. Like this is like a sideshow statue.
Yeah, I was walking through And looking at like action figures not too long ago at I think Target or something, I was just noticing like, man, the quality of toys sucks now. I remember back in the day, like Ninja Turtle toys were like the shit, man. And then you're looking at them now, and they literally look like chunks of plastic. Like,
I thought you were going to go the other way with that comment. I thought you were going to talk about how quality some of these other sets are, but you're talking about like the general release stuff. It's crap.
yeah.
But then there's these specialty, like there's just some action figures that I've seen. Dude, there's like toys coming out of Japan that you know the people that like, I'm just not a huge part of that community, but I love and respect the community. There's a huge community of people that buy these super detailed action figures and pose them and take pictures of them and do like amazing stuff with photography with these figures. And these figures are coming from Japan and they're ridiculous. Like the McFarlane Spidey, the McFarlane Venom, the Bagley Carnage, like all of these perfect renditions coming out of Japan. And I'm obsessed with them, but they cost like $400 or $500 a piece. So I don't have them. But
yeah, that's why I'm like, nope.
Appreciate seeing them. Yeah,
nope.
It's a little expensive, a little pricey.
Deadpool deeds. I don't understand this question.
What do you say?
I've never. Old Man Venom, do you remember the first superhero you created as a kid? What was the name and power?
Man, what did you make up? I know you invented one as a kid. Who was it?
I mean, I invented something in my teens, but it wasn't really a superhero, I would say. It was just a dude that was literally an adrenaline junkie that just went around, like, just looking for the worst criminals and then just fighting them to the death. And that was my comic. My friends used to laugh at it. Joe Ninja. There was a dude running around with a baseball bat, but he had like this weird mask that he put on. He had no strength. He got his ass beat just as bad, but it always ended with he got the kill shot in. And then he would lick his wounds for a while, and then he'd go back out and do it again. So it's like a Batman without being Batman.
Dig it.
Other than that, yeah, without all the money and everything.
Yep.
So when he gets his ass beat, he feels it. Yeah. I'm going to highlight this comment. Barry, you see it right here. Joe Ninja. It's happening, man. It's in the fucking ethos now.
Hey,
all right.
Yeah, man. Okay, all right, yeah, we're it's that time.
It's good, it's good. I'm waiting for my girl to kick open the door like, why are you talking? Nah, I love this. Like, this, man. She's into it just as much as me, and half the reason I watch the movies is because she's obsessed.
Nice.
Bro, we definitely got to do this again.
Yeah, man, I look forward to it, man. Super thank you for having me. Just a great time, man. I really appreciate it, and we'll definitely do it again. Absolutely.
Yes, sir. And likewise, I appreciate your time. It was good to finally meet you, and I thought this was fun. So that'll be it for tonight, guys. This is pretty much, I got to put it out there, this is the first ever Collective Spotlight episode on this channel. My dude was the first. Let me go and highlight this. Everybody, look at this pretty face right here. He was the first.
My man.
All right.
Thank you so much.
On that note, thanks, guys. Thanks for hanging out in the chat. I will talk to you all later. Oh, I'm going to end on this. Keep a look for them sketch cards I'm about to be doing. You hear me?
Yeah.
I'm coming for that ass.